Oh, love, he is so clever. He's an eternal writer, being guided by the stars. And hey, he's awakening wisely. He won't fight the currents. He knows he can surprise me. Every now and then he will get a chance and jump out of the curb, and then he thinks he's some kind of bird. As the traffic starts to die, in the corner of his eye, he will see a smile, and his arms will be open wide, and he'll go for the ride. Go for the ride. And here he is the hitchhiker fate. He's anxious, yet patient, so he's able to wait. He's just like the sky. That's in an eternal flight. Face like a spotlight, he's a cat running to it. Anything that's on his mind, he's able to do it. Then he says there's no secret to find. The eyes open, broken, fighting flow of time. Oh my mind. The hitchhiker fate. He's anxious, yet patient, so he's able to wait. He's just like the sky. That's in an eternal flight. It's like a spotlight, it's the cat running to it. Anything that's on his mind, he's able to do it. Then he says there's no secret to find. The eyes open, broken, fighting flow of time. Oh my mind. songs for lovers by a sea breeze. All conversations sowing the seeds. Cigarette holders.
What?
Light up these dreams. Come here, it's timeless. On this cobblestone lane.
Sing.
No lonely nights under the cellophane lights. Your heart and mind will always belong here, and cafe nostalgia will make our desires ring clear. We're talking in poems, in versatile tones, knowing the answers to questions not asked. There's always a need to want what we have. Come with these people, these paradise minds. No lonely nights under the cellophane lights. Your heart and mind will always belong here. Cafe nostalgia will make our desires ring Cafe nostalgia could always last, could always last. No lonely nights under the cellophane lights. Your heart will always belong here, and cafe nostalgia will make our desires ring clear.
Right. A little Grand Funk Railroad for you. No, that wasn't Grand Funk Railroad, was it? Oh, I'm not hearing Kevin.
What's up, boys? How are you? We did it. We did it.
Who was that, Kevin?
That was the impossible. I am so proud of this kid. He's only 18 years old from Port Jefferson. He just released that EP. It's mind-blowing. You might have saw the interview I did with him, and I can't say enough about him. So I thought it was perfect because it's not copyrighted yet. Hello, Joel. You guys look great. Oh, my God. Fantastic. Really great. I was worried. I was a little worried because I just want to say this from a technical end. They are overwhelmed. So it's hit or miss whether this stuff works. And we could get some pornography and other things flying past us because you heard what happened, right? There's been some incidences of hacking. I love your shirt, Joel. You're muted, Marshall. Talk to me, baby.
All right. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
Joel, clear your memory so none of that porn goes on the air accidentally.
Where's Randall? That's who I'm missing.
What?
Yeah,
No,
sure.
no. I just got upgraded. They have, free porn, Pornhub Plus or whatever they call it. My son told me. So the premium is free for all of the people who have to stay in with COVID. So I don't know if there's any leakage. This is not broadcast on the radio, so we don't have to worry about those words.
That's right.
do
That's
we?
right. That's
It's-
right.
So, I apologize in advance. Marshall, I know you're easily offended by these kinds of things. So I'll try to keep that clean.
So let's just do an intro.
Yeah,
And we'll
definitely.
just tell the folks out there what's going on here. Every year, and I'm sure everybody's been listening for the past 10 years or whatever number of years we've been going up. WNY FM 90.9, Oneonta's college radio station. We were all members back in the late 70s, early 80s. We loved it, and we go back up every year for a reunion. We like to spin the record, so to speak. We like to enjoy the Oneonta fresh air. Have a cocktail or two in the evening. It's just always a great, great weekend. And we were planning to go up this
Station really meant a
weekend.
lot to us.
It does. And we were planning to go up this weekend, this year again. Actually had a lot of people coming up this year, and they'll be on later. It was really going to be a great weekend. And here we are. We are stuck at home. So we have put this together. So I am Marshall Corey, class of 82, Oneonta.
Mike Kelly, class of 82 also.
Joel Frank, class of 82.
Kevin Wood, the young guy in the group, apparently class of 84.
The
There you go.
baby.
So we're bringing you this live via YouTube, on Facebook. We're doing a Zoom. We're going to have a lot of other friends on as we go on today. Yeah, my brother Randall, class of 83, will be on whenever I guess he gets a chance. I know he, I think, was seeing an emergency patient. He's closed, but he's a chiropractor. So I did speak to him a little this morning. So that's, we'll get him on, and then we just have a lot of different friends coming on. It should be really a great day.
Yeah, it feels
Yeah,
good.
I'm still waiting for my refund from my hotel bookings for this weekend up in Oneonta at the Clarion. Too bad we
Oh,
couldn't get up
wow.
there. Yeah.
Yeah, my brother lives
Because-
up there,
because-
so you guys know I usually stay there, but occasionally I room with Marshall, which is very interesting at times, Marshall, but I do enjoy you as a roommate. I mean,
I
there's
didn't
nothing
realize
like,
the hotels are actually closed.
oh, what a shame.
Not open for business. So
Let's mark this space and time, because I think we'll look back at this, we're not going to believe it. So let's understand this state is under lockdown pretty much, which is why we're doing what we're doing this year. COVID-19 is a terrible virus. Let's just state it, that is out and about. And you know what? Those of you in some of the fields that I'm not in, maybe Joel, you can speak about maybe what you're seeing. I know we're downstate and we're seeing the numbers that are just incredible. Anybody that wants to comment, if you know someone personal, I do have 3 or 4 people personally, one who's passed away in his 50s. I hate to say it. So it's real. It's real.
Well,
Unfortunately.
I'm home quarantined right now, and that is because my son was feeling ill, has been feverish. The doctor told us to get the test. I was at work on Thursday and got the call that he's got to go get a test, and my doctor said, you need to be quarantined too until the tests come back on Thursday, and I'm hoping it'll be negative. But just things are, for me, I've been going to work. We're essential employees. I work at a psychiatric hospital. And then we got a phone call. I was home. I got a phone call saying, what files do you need? Because we're closing up and nobody's allowed back in the outpatient setting. We may be redeployed to inpatient. Here in central New York, there are a smattering of cases. I just learned that the 4th person died in Onondaga County today. All of them had compromising health issues and were older. I know a number of people that have tested positive. One of my colleagues' husband tested positive, and then several hours later, the sheriff's department came and dropped off on her driveway orders for her to remain in place. So
thank you, Dr. Fauci.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Dr.
Dr. Fauci.
Yeah.
Cuomo and Fauci 2024.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's probably going to happen. Actually, we could speak a little bit about that. I mean, it's so. I think Andrew Cuomo. Please, no politics today. We know that, but Oh my God, I think he's just done a really, really great job. He's so articulate. Let's
do you
just get it out there.
Do you have a man crush, Kevin? I mean, I've heard that.
I like Chris. I like Chris.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, I'm a
the
big
guy,
I met both governors.
Rockefeller
Throughout
and
the
who?
years. I met Mario back. I was working at WNYC Radio doing an internship back the summer of '81, and he came for an interview. It was before he was governor. He actually was sort of had lost some races, but I will tell you, just a really charismatic man, like really just strong and big, and you just knew there was something there. And then I ran into Andrew outside my office when I was working in the city on 44th Street. I had walked out, and there he was, just standing there, and he gave me a nod. Just seemed real nice. So that's my Cuomo story.
I met Andrew years ago when he ran an organization, a housing organization in Brooklyn, and you could tell he was a pretty driven guy. And my Mario story, I guess, would confirm what you knew, Marshall, is that he's also a very tough guy. I was a designated photographer for an event at an organization I was working for. So I had the official, organization camera, and then I had my little camera myself, and my own camera. And I took his picture with the organization camera. Then I said, "Can I get a picture with you and me?" And he said to me, "What's the matter? You have to have the second camera? What's wrong with the first camera?" Because my camera, like the battery was low and it wasn't working. And he was like, "Why don't you?" But he was like pretty pissed off, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So guys, let's give a picture to those watching. We have a lot of people watching actually. Joe Morse has said hello. Dana's said hello. Hopefully all these people will come on in some way later. Hillary said hello. Let's give people an idea if we were in the studio what we'd be doing, because that's such the fun of this, just walking around the old studio, going through the albums, which I know are slowly gone, if not already totally gone. But I have a picture later I'm going to show of the carts, and we would have the pizza, and Joel, you'd have your kids there. Marshall, just describe the scene there that we would be in right now if we were there.
Yeah, it was well, first of all, it felt like home, I think, to all. Welcome, Randall, my little brother.
Yes, Randall.
Hey, Randall, how are you?
You're muted, so say hello.
Brother and class of
unmute.
What class were you of, Randall?
I'm going to unmute him. There he goes. Randall, what class are you?
83.
83. Oh, so so I'm still the baby. Okay. Oh no, he's the baby. He's now the baby. You were saying, Marshall.
Oh, so I was saying, yeah, we bring up some pizzas. Joel was friends with Tino and friends with Tino Jr. So thank you, Joel, for being probably the best schnorrer out there. I say that with love and admiration.
Peace and love.
Coming from you, that's high praise, Marshall.
We come up with a couple of free pizzas, big thing of cold cheese, put that in the what used to be the record library, sort of a lounge at Wony. Feels like home. It's just that old studio, and I think they're closing it and building a new one. We'll see, we'll see what ends up happening with this, and when this is over, hopefully in a month or two. And then we'll go from there, and we'll be back up next year, whatever studio, just to be up there. We all come in, and there's a lot of activity going on. I think, you would all agree. We get into the studio, it's like the old radio show. When you're doing a radio show, you had the DJ on, and then your show is coming up. They put on a song, and, it could be a 3-minute song, could be a 5-minute song, whatever, 7. And they say, okay, you're up after this. And you would watch that record. And then once it would come off, you'd say, hey, Marshall Corey, WNY.
Yeah,
thank you, good. Mike Kelly. Great show, Mike. That's and then good. We go on. And so anyway, same fun. Thing, it's like
and
thank you, so-and-so class or whatever.
It was interesting. The Wony community was interesting in that you saw the people before you. There would be people from different eras, different decades doing shows, and we all had the same excitement about being back on, and it was a fun time. Only out there was a great 4 years in general, but the radio station made it that much better.
It did.
Dana just reminded me that I am still the baby. I couldn't decipher between 83 and 84. So officially I'm the baby. Lest anybody just understand, I literally am doing a few things at once here just to make sure that we keep on the air. I do want to say that copyright is an issue, not at Wony FM if we were on the radio. It is here on the internet. So if we just keep talking, it's going to be good. I think we can probably play 10 seconds of a tune. But to keep live and stay live, I think that we're going to try to diminish the music, and this may be more therapeutic for us anyway.
You know, as far as copyrights, can I just share? Can I share a screen? Something's not.
Yeah, please.
It says I can't.
Why?
I'm the host.
We practiced this, sir.
It says host
If
disabled.
we do a cover of a tune ourselves.
All right, well, we'll work that out. We have
bypass the copyright law?
difficulties. What's that, Mike?
I said if we do a cover ourselves of a tune, then we're not really, that gets us bypassing the copyright
No.
laws. If I start singing in the Elton John song.
Imagine all the people.
Try it now, Marshall. I think you'll be okay. Oh, by the way,
Okay.
come on.
How did that work?
Oh!
Yeah, it worked perfectly.
All right, who has a copyright to
Oh, that's fantastic.
this? So you can
Before and
see
after.
this is
Which
us
one's the
back
before? Which
then.
one's the after?
So that's John
can
Kennedy
tell.
and Steve Martin, or what?
What would you used to drive planes there? Did you fly planes
Planes,
there?
trains,
all right?
and automobiles.
Yes.
And then planes, trains, and automobiles too. 40 years later, 30-something years later.
Yeah.
Then
Yep,
Mark,
that's, Mike and myself back in college, and then us
Actually,
at a
that picture was at
Wony reunion.
That picture was at the Washington, D.C. radio conference,
Yeah.
college radio conference, I believe.
Yeah. And I
Fantastic.
bought that hat at like a thrift shop, and maybe in Binghamton or something. And yeah, I don't think I really wore it too much. It was pretty goofy, Confederacy of Dunces type
Yes.
hat. And I probably spread lice all through the Oneonta campus, which now seems like a minor problem.
Having Lysol, you're worth a lot more money than you used to be.
Yeah.
I can't get Lysol. I can't get dumbbells. Let's make this right. I'm actually using my home gym for the first time in my life. I cannot find dumbbells. You can pay $120 for 2 dumbbells. You still can't get them. So I don't know. Maybe go to Craigslist or something like that. Joel is sharing something. Joel is sharing something beautiful.
This is what we'd be looking like.
Ah,
Nice.
Oh,
Very
that
nice.
is what we'd be looking like. Yes.
This is a while ago, though, right?
That's first year.
Your
This
first
for me.
year.
Possibly first year for me. Coming back. I mean,
wow.
not
Yep.
sure. What's in the back? That blow up doll you like, Joel?
I think that's the Wony whale.
Yes.
Oh, I thought that
Which
was-
Wony mascot.
I never quite. I think that was that was past our time. I think Joe Moss, who might be coming on later, if I'm not mistaken, I might have the details wrong, but there was a request that in the budget with the student association that we get food for the whale. I didn't, anyway. So there's the whale,
very nice.
and I think this might have been my birthday Wony day.
Yes.
Might have been because I'm wearing a hat that I think was given to me as a birthday present by Silas.
And you later went
That's
into
funny. Those 4 are us 4 right now. That's a great shot.
Yeah.
That is great. That is great.
Okay. Someone else feel free, and I'll just stop the share.
Oh, you know how to do that, Joel. You're so good.
I had
And I
my
have
second-
I know I have a photo from your birthday, like the birthday boy. You had another goofy hat on at some point.
yeah, that's I had the glasses.
Yeah. We'll find that later.
We'll find it. Yeah.
I guess who started singing Imagine? Reminds me of John Lennon. We won't.
Yeah.
get
I
into
was
it.
hoping we
Okay,
could
we
talk
go.
for half.
Ah,
I was
very
hoping
nice,
we-
Kevin.
Yeah. Very nice. Wow.
Hey, Syracuse, New York City.
Yeah.
You know, we're all in the house.
I was hoping we could talk a little bit about John Lennon today.
Before you talk about John Lennon, I know it's 1:00, but let's just say, we are Oneonta
Oh,
alumni.
Marshall, look at that.
I
Good
like
face.
that.
Maker's
Okay.
Mark, guys.
I have my
Maker's
bottle. I'll bring it down later.
Mark.
Hey,
Okay.
one thing we should say, and we were supposed to come on at actually 2:00 this year, because some guy took our spot 12 to 2. A lot of people just do their own show. We like to combine our talents. I think makes it a little better. So anyway, George Kaywood took our spot. We weren't pleased with him, but listen, you know, we were going to adjust and we're going on it too. And then George passed away a few months ago. We feel really bad. We're sorry. There's going to be a lot of tributes. So rest in peace, George Kaywood. He was definitely, how many years older than us? 10, 15, 20 years older, class or whatever, but
Class
seemed
of
like
70.
a nice guy. Joel, of course, you knew him better than anybody.
Yeah, he was class of 70, and in my memories came up a text on Facebook, which he sent me a year ago, wondering what the plan was, wondering what we were going to do, go to Brooks. He really was a very special guy. Yeah, it's a great loss.
Can we stay on that Brooks thing for a second? I guess none of us will experience that. It must not be open, actually. I wonder if they're doing curbside delivery.
They should be, yeah.
Joel, can you give me your best Brooks story?
My best Brooks story?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Well, you're so good at putting me on this. I don't know when the time that I got the sampler. You mean that was a good time?
Do you know people who used to make have a hobby of walking out with the bill and not paying at Brooks?
I did not know that. That's horrible.
That was me. No, that was not me. I will. No, okay. It really did come to me, and my best Brooks story, and I don't remember. This might have been during one, because you guys started about 10 years ago when Wony had the 50th reunion. Or 40th reunion, I don't remember, in 2012. So I guess 50th reunion. But I'd been coming up.
Look at the rock star.
For years before that with the kids since 2006, and also in the 80s and 90s, I would come up and all have the show. So it's been a real family tradition for me and my kids. But one year when we went to Brooks, or it might have been with a Boy Scout trip I took with my son, and I actually got to spritz the marinade on the chicken in the grill.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, that was a real thrill. That is a thrill. But it was the largest outdoor barbecue pit in the Northeast.
That's right.
And now it's all enclosed. It's a tourist trap.
I just want to say something, guys. Don't laugh when you hear this, but we have 20 people watching live right now, which is, I can guarantee, more that were listening to us when we did the radio.
Yes.
That's an interesting point, because when we've talked about this on the air, when we were back, at Oneonta, college radio was different. It was definitely big. People listened. Everyone had that tuner, with the turntable on top, a radio, clock radio. So really, everyone listened to the radio, and many people heard us, because I know, the next day you'd be, downtown or a class, and people say, I heard your show, great show, this or that. These days, not so much. I think Wony is great and college radio is great. But, we know, many of us don't listen to the radio, maybe satellite, whatever. And the kids don't have tuners and, tuning onto 90.9. I guess they go to the internet and listen to their friends and all. But anyway, it was a great time back then. So we kind of joke when we're on the air. I think the students probably who maybe listen, don't listen, and maybe some of our friends listen. And even then, it's my wife's like, I tried to find it. I couldn't get it. I clicked, it didn't work. And, one try, boom.
Well, shout out to Marshall, because I think you've been just a tremendous recruiter for this event. Really, the promotional material, the energy, it's just been really terrific.
That's right, Joe. You're right. Kevin and Marshall both really put this together.
Yep.
I told you guys that 3 years ago, I don't know, I think it was about 3 years ago, and I couldn't make it, and it was not an especially nice time in my life. I really felt it. I felt like I actually needed this, and I know you guys agree that we need this. This is something we need to do, and I really felt it that year. So this is a godsend.
Can I say something, please?
Yeah.
Marshall, are you telling ghost stories? Because it looks like you're holding a flashlight straight up from your.
I tried to fix that light before. I'm in my basement office, and it's
that's better.
You know what it is? Oh, I see. There we go. You know what? It's my laptop that I have on.
That's better.
And then I think but I need my laptop, so I don't know. Yeah, you see, now it came on because now I'm able to, like, read Facebook messages, sort of see what's going on.
No worries.
I want to also.
We'll have to
Go ahead, Marshall.
Everybody have to bear with this, the washout of my face.
Guys, I want to shout out to Roots on Main Street in Oneonta too. That was the place. That was a reprise or a reprise, if you will, a reprieve area where we gathered after the show. Oneonta's own brewery. I don't even know if it's there still, but we have some great memories from that place as well.
Yeah, lots of fun.
Yeah, it's a nice place. I like that.
So, guys, if you were to play a couple of tunes now, and what would you play? What's on your mind? What have you been discovering? Is it true that as we get older, we don't discover new music? We just kind of dig into the past? I'd like to hear from a few of you on that.
That's probably a little sad, but true that we get locked into our most the time when we were most involved with music. So we got to stick with that. But it's always good to check out new stuff. My son's 24, 5, and my daughter same, and they give me a little, I see what they're checking out, and funny, they were going to see Rainbow Kitten Surprise, and I checked them out to see and the first thing that came up on YouTube was a cover of an old song from our era. So I said to them, listen, see, no one makes any new stuff anymore, even your new Rainbow Kitten Surprise, doing a cover of, I forget who it was, but so yeah, so not too much new under the sun.
What's your what do you think about Billie Eilish? And I say that because she's come up really big. I had tickets to her; she was sold out. Of course, that was canceled. But I'm interested in what your thoughts are. If you haven't listened to her, that's fine. But this all
is most of her stuff the very slow, moody.
It's very extremely moody, but all recorded in her bedroom with her brother.
Yeah,
I like it a lot.
I think it's a great story too, of her persistence and really, how many people are like that though? Now there's, the sale of musical instruments, of pianos and guitars are really, down, but people are still creating just in different ways. And I think she's one of those people that somehow got this break, and with the passion, that's all she does is eat, live, sleep. And she also seems like a genuinely authentic, terrific kid.
Interesting. So Joel, how do you know about Billie Eilish? Do you know through your kids, or did you discover it on your own?
No, I think I learned about Billie Eilish. It might have been through one of the YouTube or Facebook, videos or something.
So you caught it. That's cool.
And I just caught it. And then there was, maybe one of the evening shows or 60 Minutes or somebody did a special on her, and went into her bedroom with her brother there and interviewed, and her mom, who was an actress, it talked to him. She was out on her street in her neighborhood and the house rules, and she seemed like a decent kid. Yeah, real. And
guys, I want to tell you that Dr. Ring is waiting for us, so I want to be on time. Marshall, I'll defer to you when you want him in, but he's in our waiting room. Dr. Ring.
Sounds great. Yep.
Let him in.
Can I just
go ahead.
talk about one, because you talk about now we have 25 people maybe listening, and who knew how many when we were on the alumni show. And I remember when I was working on WIEZ, and I would turn the radio station on or do the overnight, that was even less listened to. And honestly, I think I might have done a shift after going out all night, and then I fell asleep, and I got a phone call because some guy said he knew that the radio was off. Apparently the tapes that were playing easy listening music had jammed, and I didn't know. And I was so thrilled that there was a listener, because I had no idea. And I said, so, that's great. You were listening. Sorry about that. He says, it's not me. He said, it's the cows. He played the music for the cows in the barn, and he knew the radio was off because the cows started acting up.
Guys, continue to share the link because people are definitely enjoying it. Continue to share that YouTube link as we have guests coming in. So Marshall, when you stay, I'll
let's go. Dr. Ring.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%. Here we go. 1, 2, 3.
There he is.
Handsome handle he's got there. Handsome handset. He's muted.
Good morning, Dr. Ring. Afternoon.
How does he get?
Let me unmute him.
Yeah.
Hi, Dr. Ring. How are you?
I'm fine.
This is beautiful. This is what I live for. My accountant teacher from 82. You are my accountant 101 teacher from 82, Dr. Ring. You realize that, right?
He does now.
I didn't realize that.
You are. It's incredible.
Okay.
It's incredible.
I hear Joe talking. What's going on?
We're enjoying
Joe's
the hell
always
out of the
talking.
afternoon. What are you up to today, sir?
Just sitting here on the couch. I did go out shopping earlier, so I can answer some questions you have.
All right. You know what? I think we have an audience, so we have to, for those that don't know you, why don't you actually just introduce yourself and your tenure there at SUNY State?
Is Joel still talking?
No, we
No,
shut him up
we
for a
gagged
second.
him.
Oh, okay. Because I can hear him talking.
Joel, mute, Joel.
I haven't said a word.
Oh, Dr. Ring, you want to shut off whatever you have playing this stream. You want to shut that off at this point. I sound like Howard Stern. Shut your radio off. Shut your radio
Believe it or
off.
not.
YouTube. Okay. Hold on.
Yeah, take it. I'm so impressed that you have YouTube on, but it's at least a 20-second delay. So shut that off. Shut the
Oh,
volume.
okay.
And then that cat is awesome, Mike Kelly. My God, that cat is awesome. Oh, that is fantastic.
All right.
Now you could talk at will, Dr. Ring. Please tell the audience your tenure at the State University at Oneonta.
Okay, I'll tell them. Well, I arrived here on August the 31st, 1981. So it's your senior year. Or Marshall and Mike and Joel's.
Mm-hmm.
And Kevin, you were later.
That's right. 84. Yep. Oh, my God.
And you
It's
were
Dr.
my
Ring.
student
Thank you,
too.
Joel. Dr. Ring,
You
you
still
can't
there?
see this, I guess. But
Yep.
there's a picture up of you with the gang.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I decided not to get Zoom. They say I have a great face for radio.
So go ahead, Dr.
so
Ring.
anyway.
Continue. I want to hear almost like decade by decade from 82 on, if you will.
So I started in the 80s. And so the class of 85 was the first class I had ever had. I started teaching as a teaching assistant in Northeastern in 1970. So by the time I got to Oneonta, I had a lot of teaching experience. But I had never had a class all the way through from freshman to senior year until the class of 85. So they're still one of my favorite classes. Probably my favorite class for that reason.
And when did you become involved with the radio station? Dr. Ring. Doctor.
Dr. Ring, you still there? He might have dropped off. Hold on. He may be on a cell phone, which is not too smart. All right, he'll call back in. Dr. Ring, you're not there, right? So this is, just like a studio, these are the things we go through. I'm going to remove Dr. Ring because he's off, and he'll call back in. Actually, I'm not going to remove him because it says he can never get back in if I remove him. Believe it or not. Marshall's taking a break. He's probably going to the bathroom or feeding the cat. And so is Randall. They must be talking together. Randall, there you are. What's going on over there? Tell us what town you're in and what's going on there. And you are a doctor of chiropractic.
Correct. Yes, I'm in Ithaca, New York, Central New York, Finger Lakes, and Cornell University, Ithaca College here. We have large Italian, Asian population at both schools, especially Cornell.
Please don't be racist.
No, I'm just saying that we do have several cases
I'm kidding.
in this county, and it's a small county with a small hospital, so we're all a little worried and bracing for the next onslaught because things are looking kind of overwhelming in the next couple of weeks. But I think, everybody's isolating. I had to go to my office today for a bit and didn't see many cars, many people. So it was kind of nice that everybody is kind of staying home, which is what we all need to do right now.
True.
You know, that's interesting to hear because I consider your area a small area, and still there's that fear, which is interesting. I'm going to let Dr. Ring in again. He's so interesting. Here we go. Dr. Ring, are you there?
Oh.
All right. Here we go. Unmuting Dr. Ring. Here we go. Dr. Ring, we lost you. Are you on a cell phone?
Yeah, I am. Hold on.
I thought so.
Can you see the picture I
Okay.
posted? Can you guys see the picture?
Yeah, no, I didn't, but that's okay.
That's a great
okay.
picture, Marshall, but don't forget that Dr. Ring's only on audio.
I'm giving this to our viewers. That is Dr. Ring in the middle.
Beautiful.
And you see Kevin and me and Randall and another Wony. Hello.
All right, you were saying, Dr. Ring, so go into the 90s with Suni Oneonta. Just describe the whole decade of the 90s.
It was, in a certain sense, you know, it was maybe a low point. Our enrollments were down. The quality of the students were down, you know.
Oh, we were better, right?
But yeah, you guys were better. But an important thing happened in the summer of 1995 that led to a wonderful thing for me. I had started going to the Telluride Bluegrass Festival out in Colorado, and afterwards I went to see a friend of mine who was living in Crested Butte, and she was, I think at the time, the program director at WKBUT, which is a community radio station in Crested Butte. And while I was there, she had a show on Thursday morning. It was called Live from Utica, because she had played mostly Italian music. And then there was a guy who was on the radio in Utica who would call in with a recipe every week. And so anyway, so I was on the show and I had a great time. I played some music, talked about, you know, the Bluegrass Festival, which had just ended. And when I got back to Oneonta that fall, I got a request. This was before email. Well, there was email, but this was back before we really used email a lot. So I basically got a written request from one of my students who was a Wony DJ asking she was going to do a faculty request show. So I gave her a whole bunch of songs. And then at the end, I said, is there any possibility for a faculty member to become a DJ? And about 2 months later, I got back a note from her saying, yes, but I have to train you. So in the spring of 96, I started training. And I had to take an air test and a written test. I got 103 on the written test. I think it was the most nervous I had ever been to take a test, except for maybe my PhD qualifying exams. And I passed the air test. I forget. The two songs I played for the air test were Greg Brown, Boomtown, and then I forget his name. His father's a great, McMurtry, James McMurtry. So I played a song by him. Those were my air tests. In the fall of 96, I started doing a show from 5 a.m. to 8 a.m. I've since graduated. And since the fall of 98, I've been doing a show called Roots and Branches from 8 o'clock. And so anyway, so that was the low point for Oneonta, but a high point for me because I started in the fall of 96. And even though I retired in 2016, still doing that show. Although, well, I haven't been doing it because of coronavirus lately. But anyway, and of course the college made a great comeback starting in, Alan Donovan actually was the president in the 90s and he turned the college around. And so ever since then, the school's come back. It's now one of the most selective schools in the SUNY system. The kids are great. The radio station's great. We will be moving to a new studio next year sometime. I don't know
Where?
exactly
Where will
when.
that be, Dr. Ring? Where will that be?
up in the basement of the Hunt Union.
Will it be?
So that
Will yes, I know the basement well. So describe where. I think that's really important. Will it be overlooking the pond there or thereabouts?
no, it's going to be across the. No, it won't be overlooking the pond, unfortunately.
Okay.
We'll still be in the basement, so some things won't change. We'll still be isolated in the basement, so some things don't change. You know, so it'll be good. It'll be good.
Good. Yeah, I mean it'll be amazing because it'll be all brand new equipment, state of the art. I'm sure podcasting will be part of it.
Oh, I hope not. If it's too technologically advanced, I'll have to give up my show.
I'd argue that the podcasting will be better for some of us that are technically challenged.
Oh, they're already doing podcasting.
Good.
You know,
That's good to hear.
There's a couple of Voices from Oneonta is the podcast that the new advisor has come up with. So,
Good.
yeah, I forgot to say that. I was the Wony advisor for about 15 years.
Wow.
Maybe 16, 17, I don't know. That was a great joy. I mean, going to e-board meetings was just wonderful.
What were you advising on?
Well, you know, one thing I had to do is I had to sign all the budget requests, you know. So I had to approve.
Now
all
I
the
know
money.
why we're dealing with 30-year-old soundboards there.
No, they actually replaced that soundboard, or at least what's under. Maybe not the outlay itself, but the technical equipment was replaced. I don't know, sometime between 2000 and 2010. So it may look old, but it's not that old. But it will be new stuff, I'm sure. You guys still there?
Yes, taking you all in.
Oh, okay.
Very much so.
And
Well, anyway, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Sticking to it.
Well, I appreciated meeting you early on in maybe the 80s when I was coming up. You were somebody that I didn't know, and then found out that you know a number of people that I knew, and that was before you guys really were coming up. And connecting with you about Roland and Arnie Solomon and Will Lunn and all kinds of other people.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Do you mean Roland the Headless Thompson Gunner?
Not in this.
Caputo?
Yeah, Caputo.
Yeah, he's a big deal, you know.
I mean, you would know. I don't know.
What's
He's the
Roland doing now?
he's the chief financial officer for the New York Times.
Ah,
And you were his professor.
Yes. In spite of that, he's turned out successfully.
Hey, Dr. Ring, I want to ask you, do you know Dr. I think she's a doctor, Dr. Nepke Music?
Yeah, I know Janet.
Janet, what is she up to these days?
Well, last I know, she is still teaching.
That's amazing. That is just amazing. She was my music theory teacher.
Right.
Just a wonderful experience. And I know she plays cello, and hopefully she
Yeah,
still
yeah.
does.
Great cello. No, she's a great cello player.
Yeah, absolutely. Wow.
Although
You know,
she plays classical music, I'm not a great fan of classical music. To me,
Yes.
classical music is early Chuck Berry.
Hey, tell us about your racing career. Then we're going to get some other folks up on here as guests. Tell us a little about your racing career.
Well, when I was a kid, I loved drag racing. I used to go to the drag races all the way through high school. And then I got away from it. And I decided in 98 to go back to drag races. And I met some friends, met some people, got to be friends. And so, you know, one of my friends had a spare engine that he wasn't going to be using. So we decided to build a car to put it in. So, so we went into, you know, we built this car. It turned out to be quite fast. And we are racing in a class called Competition Eliminator, which has all kinds of different kinds of style of cars. And so we specialized in 4-cylinder cars, but we raced against supercharged 8-cylinder cars, all kinds of different cars, you know, celebrates diversity, comp racing. And it turned out that between the two cars, we actually became one of the best teams in the country. So it was at the level of AAA. It was the last level before people turned professional. And so it's a very high level of competition. We raced all over the country. We made it, my car made it into the top 10 in the country 3 times about a 12-year period. And my partner made it in a couple of times. He was the engine builder, and he was actually world champion in 2010. So it's very successful. I like to say I'm much better known as a drag racer than I am as an economics professor. And so, but then a couple of years ago, I sold the car, and it went to a good home, and
you save yourself a bunch of money, because normally what we love costs us the most amount of money, right? Isn't that true?
Oh yeah, that's right. You know the difference between men and boys?
No.
It's the price of their toys.
Yeah, that's true. Right? Little Tommy gun to a race car for $100,000. That's true.
Yeah. And you probably you had a guitar back when you were in college here, Kevin. You probably have a bunch of guitars now, right?
So you can't see this, but I'm going to show it, and I'm going to tell you a very small story about this. This is a Guild guitar. Nobody should ever sell a Guild guitar. I sold this at 99 Center Street in Oneonta. Stupid me. The guitar would be worth thousands and thousands of dollars. I sold it for like $200. That is true, Dr. Ink. There it is right there. You can't see it, but I'm showing the picture.
Yeah. That's it.
Where was that photo taken, Kevin?
You know what? I need you guys actually to chime in on this. This was a very rare event. We went up to a mountain. It was called Mountain Jam. I don't know how it happened. About 82, 83. For those watching a live stream, I don't know that they can see this, to be very honest, because I think when I go out of video, they can't see this. That's unfortunate. But you on this call can see this. I'll show it later. I don't know where it was. I feel like it was on some side of a mountain somewhere that I'll never know again. But I will tell you this, and this is a true story, and I'm going to come back to video for this. And my wife, right, who was my girlfriend at that time, can totally attest to this. There were 50-gallon drums of drink, right? Just call it whatever you want. Literally, we were ladling drink. And in that was LSD. And my brother, I think he's watching, I hope he's watching, can attest to this. It was laced with like total psychedelics. And we got through that day like nothing else. It was every bit as Woodstock as it'll ever be. It was amazing. That's a true story. That day was insane.
Dr. Ring, when you were at Woodstock, did they ladle drink with LSD?
I don't know. I didn't drink anything. I didn't do any drugs.
No, see, that's the thing. You didn't mean to do anything. It was just if you were parched and had a drink, and somebody was good enough to give you a ladle of drink, you were with the crowd. That's what I'm saying. You couldn't.
No, I didn't. I went there for the music, not for the drugs.
Dr. Ring, the statute of limitations has passed. You're fine. You can admit it all.
Your pension's in place. No problem.
You have to realize I went there for the music. I was going to school at Northeastern, and they had a co-op program, so I was going to school that summer. So we hitchhiked, but we didn't miss any classes on Friday. We left and hitchhiked out after we got out of class. Got there. We got a fortuitous event. Somebody saw us who knew the back roads in. We had stopped to get some, at a general store to get some provisions. And so the guy took us in. So we got there relatively early. And my roommate who I went with, he was an engineering major, so he couldn't afford to miss school at all, And so we left. The last group we saw was the band on Sunday night. So we left to hitchhike back, and it was 7:30, and we're on I-95 in downtown Providence. We had 9 o'clock classes, but we made it back in time. We got one ride. They took us all the way to Boston. And we got into class on time. So I didn't miss any classes. It was tiring though, because it rained on Friday night, and then they played all Saturday night. But I went to sleep in the middle of Janis Joplin, and Woke up for Jefferson Airplane. But it was fun.
You know, it's funny. And just when you said falling asleep to Janis Joplin, it reminds me of Bob Weir. If you search Bob Weir, Janis Joplin, you'll hear stories about Bob Weir. And Mike and I actually went to see Bob Weir play with Phil Lesh at Radio City. He told this story, but you'll see it online too, about how noisy Janis was with Pigpen. So I don't think Pigpen or any of the Grateful Dead were going to sleep during Janis, but there we go. Well, Dr. Ring, we're gonna you could stay on, but we have more guests that we have to get to. You're welcome to stay on, hang up, whatever you want.
What I'll probably do is stay on, shut up.
Okay, that's fine. And Kevin can mute you. Well, I guess then we won't be able to see if you want.
Oh, one thing. I had to say one thing about what you were talking about earlier.
Go on.
Work
Yeah, please.
is open for takeout.
What is open, Brooks?
Is that a question, or I'd love to know?
No,
Are they open?
Answer. Works is open for takeout.
Yes. Good.
Oh, that's good.
Phenomenal. Marshall, this
Yeah,
is
I
Kevin.
wanted. All right, give
This
me
is
one
Kevin, your
second.
partner, Marshall. Let your new guest in, please.
I will 1 second. Just give me 1 second though. Before we do that, and I'm having a little trouble with my photos, finding the right one I want to share.
Okay.
When I get to the right one, and then I'm going to share another photo before our guest comes in. And I'm not sure where Noreen is or Lisa, but please zoom in where you're welcome. It's just chat. Okay, here we go. I'm going to share a photo. I think this will work.
Okay.
Let's see if this will work. Okay. Yeah, I want to wish my daughter, our daughter, a happy birthday. 27 years old today.
Beautiful.
That's my
Wow,
wife and
beautiful.
myself with
Hey,
Sarah.
Sarah.
Happy birthday, Sarah.
So happy birthday. We love you. And,
Is she listening, Marshall?
What's that?
Is she listening?
I hope so. I'm not really sure. I sent her the link and I know she knows of it. So hopefully today is her birthday. She is doing a Zoom birthday tonight. So with friends, and that's what's going on these days.
Yep.
And hopefully only for another month or two that'll happen and we can all get back together.
Is
So I'm gonna
Zoom a
stop
publicly
sharing
traded
this.
company?
What's that?
Is Zoom a publicly traded
It
company?
is. I think the
It
stock.
is. It is. I've been
stock is
following
great.
it. I can talk about it. It was up at a high of 160. It's around 128 now. And it's just about as uncertain as everything else we're experiencing in the world because, there's been some hacks. Google Hangouts is a competition and they can't handle what they have. But you know what? It's working great for us. I love it. Guys,
How
do you
did
mind?
Skype drop the ball on this? That's what I want to know.
But you know what? There's an easy answer to that. Skype and what was it? MySpace. So MySpace, right? Didn't exist after Facebook, and now same thing. Just zoomed. It was unbelievable. Really weird. Guys, I want to share a crazy video if I can, all right? Some of you may have saw it. And I'll share it later. Right now, I want to ask that Alan Shapiro comes in. Is that all right, Marshall? Alan Shapiro?
We can do that. But we have
because he's the only one waiting right now.
I'm just gonna. We did have an order, and there is somebody waiting. Who? Let me just share the screen. Hold on. Okay. So this is from a Wony. This was your birthday, Joel.
Yeah.
And Elisa Bernstein is supposed to come on. So.
But let's not forget what Elisa Bernstein does, though. Oh, there she is.
There she is. So we've been waiting. And Alan, if you could come on a little later, if you don't mind.
Yes, that's fine. That's fine.
All right, let me stop sharing, and then we can go to. There's Elisa.
Oh, this is fantastic! Oh my God, I'm so glad to see.
How sweet.
You are there on that. Let's get right into this. You're there on the front lines. I just like my heart drops when I see you. Just talk to us about that.
Yeah, so I became a nurse about 5 years ago, and now I'm working in the New Rochelle drive-through testing center, which you probably know is the hotspot, the first hotspot. It's the flagship center set up by Governor Cuomo. I spent the last 3 days there, 12-hour shifts, and we're just testing everybody who can come through. They come through with their cars. I'm working with the Air Force, National Guard, the military, Department of Health, and we're testing as many people that qualify. Some days we tested over 1,000 people. Some days a little bit less because the qualifications change from day to day, it seems. We've done in-home visits, nursing home visits, so we go in and test the residents. And it's pretty intense. We're really in the hot zone, as they call it.
Yeah, I want to say on behalf of all of us that are listening, watching, and here in the Zoom meeting, thank you. Honestly,
Thank you.
I've been watching and seeing, and I'm like, that's way beyond my reach. That's just awesome. Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, I gotta say, I'm very happy to be there. I'm really grateful that I can do this. I really am.
I had personal experience with my son going to the testing center up here. Certainly not the kind of volume you have. It really is quite an operation, between waving in the cars, everybody getting geared up, the hand signals, lower the window, just enough. It's really quite remarkable. So, and like everybody else, thank you.
And I have to say, I have no stories about not having PPE, not having protective equipment. We are fully covered from head to toe, including 3 pairs of gloves for every single car. And we change gloves every single time, 3 pairs. And I feel more protected there than I do when I go to the supermarket. But I will say that a lot of people come in, a lot of sick people come in. People are generally very grateful, thank us. We've had offers for getting our hair done by women that owned a hair salon. We have, a lot of really grateful people. One person came up with a sign, my family tested positive. I'm just letting you know I have symptoms, before we open the window. But it's, it's really very touching. People are generally very scared and very grateful. And we're happy to be there. We really are. It's about 30 nurses that show up every single day. And it's pretty intense, I will say. But we're happy to be there, and hopefully we can do some good.
Do you have an inside view as to, this is the number one question, and I have my own personal feelings on when we may get back to normality?
My inside view is it's going to take a long time. That's my
agree.
personal view. Yeah, I can't give you a date. I think that it's going to just keep going and going. There's no immunity, and it's going to take time. And as usual, our most fragile are the ones that are going to first get hit by this, as you can all see. So that's really it. I don't really have more insight than anybody else.
Right, exactly.
At this point, I wish I did.
Watching the news, it seems like obviously it's state by state. There isn't any national rules about this. And in New York State, we, from what I can tell, and being a New York State frontline mental health worker, these are unprecedented times. That it's unprecedented that state workers are sent home to try to work from home. We're in a state where this is being taken very, very seriously, and the rules are pretty strict. And I don't foresee it lessening until there is real certainty that we can all be safe.
I agree.
Hey, so Lisa, let's this is what we're all talking about, and it's interesting. Well, it's what we need to know. But let's talk about Oneonta. Let's put a smile on Joel's face. So, so you class of
1983.
What? 83. Any and you were on Wony for your 4 years in Oneonta? How many?
Not all 4 years. My last semester I was overseas. So I was on Wony, I think the middle 2 years. My first semester I was on. I had just learned about it, and then I got on, I think, in my second semester for the next year or two. And then
what time shows did you do?
I remember my first show being Tuesday, 2 a.m. to 5 a.m. and going out, and I was living in town and walking up the hill into the college to be there for 2 a.m. And I was certain that very few people were listening to me then. Very select crowd of who would be up at that moment.
After hours party people.
Basically, yeah.
Tuesday night after hours.
Yeah. So it was basically a lot of Pink Floyd, a lot of songs that I thought would please the listeners. Yeah.
One of my first shows was 2 to 5, but remind me, everyone, when we get to, actually this story will probably be best if Dan Legani calls in. If he doesn't, but he may be calling in later. I have a story about a late radio show. It involves Dana also, but guys, remind me, all right? But yeah, I think we all did that late show, and the story has to do with Dana doing one of these overnight shows. It's 2 to 5, and then people at 5 to 8. You know, now we look at the schedule and we go up to Oneonta, and there's so many open spots. It used to be like you were fighting to get, like 2 to 5 actually was pretty good because people had 5 to 8, which was really ridiculous and hard to do. And then the whole schedule was really, you know, really busy. You know, my goal throughout, like my favorite slot, the slot I wanted was 11 to 2 Monday nights, which Joel had, I know, in 1980, because I remember December 8th, 1980, listening. And Joel did a great job. That was when that job was got. We've talked about that. It's a joke because we talk about it every year, but it was significant for many of us. But anyway, I always wanted that show, and it was a great show.
So Marshall,
Mike was
we had
on before me.
back-to-back on Monday nights, right?
What's that?
We had back-to-back on Monday
Yeah,
nights.
Mike was on right before me, 8 to 11. There we go. Thank you. Trying to get Noreen on here. She's downloading. I'm not sure what's downloading. And Kevin, are you around to let her in if she does get into that waiting room? Elisa, if you want to come on. Lisa Lippman was supposed to come on. I think in a few minutes we're going to have another group. Is anybody in the waiting room?
You're muted.
I'm sorry, guys. Jill and Alan Shapiro are in the waiting room. Who do you want in?
Well,
right now?
I guess let's bring in, we can bring them both in. Alan seems to be eager to get on. Let's bring them on. Oh, no, let's
Okay, here we go. Jill and Alan. Fantastic.
I think maybe take Alan off because I told Alan 2:30 and he's just in the waiting room. Jill, why don't you take Alan
Jill's
off?
connecting to audio.
We're seeing Alan's messy bedroom and maybe he wants to block it with his
Pretty
phone.
nice.
All right. This is fantastic. Alan is not
Get
ready.
Alan
Alan is
off.
not ready.
'Cause I told Alan
Well,
2:30.
Speaking of technical difficulties, I'll tell you about my WONY story of my air test failed twice because I left the pot up with the mic open after I went back to music twice. So I take it 3 times.
But you still have your bread. You get a autographed membership card, don't you?
I do. My Brad You Get a card.
Yeah.
You know, Kevin, you might maybe stop Jill's video until she's ready because I think she's expecting 2 p.m.
No problem at all. And I have Scott Miller in waiting. What, Scott? Let's get Scott in now.
Can Scotty,
if you want.
Yeah, you know the thing.
Yes, sir.
Let's see if he's ready.
Yeah, bring Scott in.
You know, it's an interesting
There he
dynamic.
is.
There he is.
Hey, Scott.
Scott Miller.
This is great. Hey, Scott, you're on.
Scott, you're in.
Scott, you're muted.
Scott is unmuted now. Here we go. Hey, Scott, how are you?
Gentlemen and girls.
Ladies.
Hey,
Jill,
there he is.
how you guys doing?
Hey, Scotty.
All right. Hey, Mike, Marshall,
Hey, how you doing, Scott?
Joel. What's the
You
good
with us?
word, everybody? And
Where are you calling in from, Scott? Where are you calling in from?
I'm calling in from Saugerties, New York.
Ah, fantastic. Oh my God. What's happening there? Talk to us. What's happening on the local level right now?
It's upstate New York, so it's a lot more isolated, obviously, than New York City. But you still feel it and you're still living it. You've got
Where are
access
you,
to-
Scott?
I'm sorry?
Where are you?
Saugerties.
Oh, Saugerties. Oh, okay. Weren't you in Brooklyn or working in
I
Brooklyn?
am.
In
I
Jersey?
spend half my time in the city and half my time here.
Oh, nice. Okay,
Yeah.
great.
Yeah, so we've been socially isolated since March 13th up in the woods.
Yep. Yeah, that's about it. You know, speaking of March 14th, we actually did socialize with some friends. And, so we had one thing to go to, but other friends went to dinner. And I think 4 or 5 out of the 8 or whatever have the virus.
That's amazing.
And I don't know if we would have gone at that point, but we thought it was a little strange. We socialized with 2 of them the night before, but that was it. So, even back then, like, yeah, we'll go to dinner. Nobody has it, but they all gave it to each other somehow, and everybody was, not touching elbows at that point.
Well, there was a 50th anniversary reunion for the Allman Brothers. There's no Allman Brothers left anymore, and that was at the Garden on the Tuesday. I think that was March 10th, maybe, and there were 15,000 people there.
Yeah.
And that happened March 10th. So.
Yep. Yeah, I remember seeing Facebook people who went to that show. Yep, lots of people. So yeah, it's scary. So how have you been besides that? We're gonna have to I guess we're all introing with the virus, and then we'll try to move on to other things. Moving on to your class of what? Maybe we went through this, but class of what?
I'm class of '84.
Hold on, guys. I want to just say, Scott, if you have the YouTube stream, we completely appreciate that, but throw the volume down on the YouTube stream.
Oh, it's totally. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get rid of it. I don't think it's me, though.
No, you're doing great. I want
to
just say, Scott, if you have the YouTube stream,
who's that?
Alan, is that you?
Whoever's got.
Maybe mute Alan.
Get
rid of it.
No, you're doing great. I want to just say, Scott, if you have the YouTube stream.
Kevin, can you mute Alan?
Is that you? Whoever's got.
Maybe mute Alan.
There you go.
Better?
Yep, perfect.
It must have been me then.
All right, turn down your radio. First time caller.
That's what it is. It's just it's
First time,
amazing.
long time.
All right, what were you supposed to do? You're supposed to turn down what when somebody called in?
When they call in, because I actually did it. I worked at WR Radio, and you take calls. You'd say, okay, now turn down your radio, listen through the phone,
right?
Because otherwise you do hear what we just heard, and then people would get on, and then there was always, first time, long time. But,
right.
So class of '84.
Put that picture of you up again, because I'm having a really difficult time remembering you. I'm sorry to say.
No, and it's no problem. I graduated in '84. I played in a band called The Pulse from 81 through '84, '85. I stayed up through '87. And nobody, including myself, can remember this day, but it was the most amazing day ever. It was on a mountainside somewhere. I'm letting Noreen in. Now we're having fun. This is amazing.
Hey, Noreen. Hey, Dana.
Yeah. So Scott, I certainly remember your name for sure. And you're part of the crowd there. This is great. Everybody unmute your mic and just talk. This is phenomenal.
Noreen, I think you're muted.
Here I am. Hey, guys.
Hey.
I'm here. Where's my picture?
Look at Dana looking like she's in the Hamptons. What the hell's going on there, Dana?
Kevin, did you let Jill back in?
Outside. I don't know. They should be out there. Kevin blocked me.
Who blocked what? Who needs what? Tell me.
Jill needs
Jill. Put Jill back in.
Jill's in. Where's Jill?
My volume's a little low, but can you guys?
No, I think you shut her off when she was fixing her wires.
Everything's good. Everything's good.
So how does
this?
So tell me, how does this work here? I'm talking in through my phone, but I've got the everybody's face up on the on YouTube. So how should I just stay on this?
Yep.
Yeah, that's working.
Yep. It's really
good.
good.
Stay on this, and you can look at the machine on the right. You're like, let's go
to Dana. Dana, where the hell are you?
I'm here, but my volume is super low.
You're super
Can you guys hear me?
though. Yeah, we hear you perfectly.
Bizarre. I can hear you like very it's so super low. Usually I'm pretty good at the Zoom stuff, but
so I always recommend these things, but you don't have them, that's fine. Dana.
Well, here.
Wow, you got them too.
Oh, there we go. Now we're
okay, good. Dana, where are you? And tell us what's happening there. Where are you exactly? What town?
I'm here in fabulous Floral Park, New York, which is on the Queens-Nassau border, or as we like to affectionately call it here, Mayberry with cocktails. Cheers. My husband's my husband's insisting that we drink everything in the fridge. So this is a spritzer, 7-day-old wine, and black cherry soda.
That's beautiful. Oh, that is so beautiful.
Yeah, I needed to, we're lacking vitamin D here without getting outside. So I thought it was important. Plus, these are readers too. So I can figure the computer out and look glamorous all at the same time.
Oh my God. This is amazing. This is amazing.
Thank you for setting this up, Kevin. We needed it.
Yeah, we so need this. This is so amazing. Marshall, you've got some folks here. Someone's still got feedback, but that's okay. We're going to get to that.
Maureen, do you have sound up?
My sound is up. I don't know how to mute. I have it on my iPad and my phone. I don't know how to mute the iPad.
If you swipe left or right, you'll see it.
Okay. Didn't work.
Hi, Alyssa.
Jill needs assistance in getting on. Kevin.
You blocked me.
Maybe I can mute.
Jill is actually on, guys.
Well,
Hey, Jill.
You can't see her video, Kevin.
I just sent her a ask to start video.
There we go.
Hello.
There you go, Jill. How are you?
Hey, Marshall and Randall. It's like tag team.
That's what she said.
Wow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And here comes Alan. There's 11 people on this. This is amazing. Wow.
That's we have as many people as we do viewers. Hi, Alyssa.
Hi.
Hi, Mike and Scott.
Guess what? We have 24. That's a viewer high. So, trust me, it's good.
Hey, Noreen, how you doing?
Jill, I want to talk to Jill. I don't even know Jill, but
You're leaving Noreen hanging.
I know we got Noreen. I want to talk to Jill.
Sorry, Noreen.
Introduce yourself and
right. Thank
the
you,
whole
Marshall,
deal.
for
The whole
thinking
deal.
about
Okay, so I'm Jill Fewer-Wisner. I used to do, I think it was Tuesday mornings from 6 to 10 a.m. And I got up very early and only had to play Pink Floyd once in a while. I live in Forest Hills, Queens. And I married an Oneonta alum as well, Lenny Wisner. So
One of my students.
he may make a unique appearance as well. And I just got furloughed, so that's interesting. And the crazy world we live in, but this is awesome. I'm very happy to be here. Nice to see such friendly faces. And I know almost everybody except Alan. That's it. Joel,
And
was
Alan's-
that Joel
Can I
Frank
say
Pesci?
something?
Yeah, Jill Fewer Peschke.
That's me.
I'm glad to see
And,
your eyes. I'm glad to see your eyes open, Jill.
Listen, this is what I look like. I can't help it. As a matter of fact, I have proof somewhere. Where'd it go?
Yeah. And Alan Shapiro's sporting an Oneonta State jersey.
This
That's
is
a
what
good
I
shirt.
always look like.
Yeah.
Oh,
You look the
yeah,
same.
Jill.
You look the same. You look
That's
the same.
terrific.
I remember that picture.
Yeah, it was practicing for the air test.
Wow.
And I was probably playing Chicago or what was the Blood, Sweat and Tears. I think that was the only two albums in the back.
Well, it was David Bowie also. Wasn't the David Bowie record the one that we all had to train on?
Not me. I actually have the reel to reel of my tape still because I'm one of those kind of freaky people that can't throw things out.
Maybe Kevin can tell you the technology and how to play that now. Alan's changing, either that or he's.
Oh, nice pecs out.
Another Oneonta shirt.
And they still fit.
What does that say?
Just for the record, I have my circa 1984 sweatshirt on.
Oh,
all right. So.
Oh, there he is.
This is at a Rolling Stones concert. It's me, Joel Allen, Andrea, some other Oneonta folk.
Yeah, wow. Sandy Perlmutter and Bridget.
That's so funny.
Right.
You're fancy with that video.
Rolling Stones, 1989.
Steel Wheels.
Mike Kelly, You got to find that video that you took of me at the last reunion I was at with the slow-mo with the hair turning.
Oh,
Do you
okay.
remember that?
I'll have to find that one.
So in 1981, Gene Falk, who remembers Gene Falk?
I do. I remember.
He was my
Gene.
roommate.
He was the general manager of WONY, and that year was the 20th anniversary in stereo of WONY. And I was there. Not only was I there, I even held on to the program.
Nice.
You can see that.
Very nice.
I can see that.
When
Gene's
was
gonna
that?
be on later. So
1981.
1981.
Right.
Yes, Joe.
So we were in school then. Oh, 80, no. So that was 2001. Was
This
the
is 1981.
What had happened?
Oh my God. I
20th
remember
anniversary of WONY.
nice.
Pretty cool, huh?
Yeah, Gene's
Yeah.
gonna be
Very
on
cool.
later, so we'll mention that. Here's a picture about a year ago, and Noreen, you remember that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
Lisa, Mike, how you doing, Noreen?
I'm doing good.
Look at this. Alan's sporting a different shirt now.
There we go.
Oh, the pool toy.
Nice. So Noreen, where are you?
I'm in
Still-
Seattle. I'm in
Nice.
Seattle. I'm sitting in my kitchen. You know, we were one of the first out here to get hit by this thing, but boy, you guys in New York, you've gotten it way worse now than it got here. But it's a beautiful day here. It's sunny, about 60 degrees. And I'm delighted to be seeing everybody.
Yeah, it's great to see you. You a class of what, Noreen?
82.
82. Nice.
82. Yeah, we're all hitting a big 6-0 this year.
Ain't that the truth?
Scary, huh?
Speak for yourself.
It's crazy.
Yeah, how did that happen? How did that happen?
And that's Shakedown Street these days, guys.
Ah,
Oh my God, that's so funny.
with social distancing.
Literally nothing shaking on Shakedown Street.
That's so-
Literally nothing at all.
Some reason I ended up with Gene Falk's owning at the ID.
Oh my
I
God.
don't know why, but I have it.
Oh, that's great. You'll have to show them that later.
So how has
Alan-
everybody been spending their time?
Drinking.
Well, you know, besides that.
We've been Zooming.
Yep.
Exercise and drink. Rinse,
And-
repeat.
And loading the
Done-
dishwasher.
Yeah, and right, and emptying the dishwasher.
Walking the dog.
I'm still
actually
working.
starting- Are
I'm
you
working.
good?
I'm still working. We're all working from home.
Yeah,
it's
me too.
Actually surprisingly busy, but which is good. I mean, the day really goes fast. But
Yeah.
I'm glad we're all still working.
That's true. I'm working as well from home,
Uh-huh.
which is, you know, it's a little
Yeah.
precarious in the entertainment industry, but you know, every day is a new day. So,
That's right.
hey, that's Colliersville. I recognize that.
Is
Yeah.
that where that was?
Oh, is that
Yes,
what
it
it
was.
was? Oh.
It was.
And who's
Oh my
who's the
God.
guy with us?
We,
Yeah.
we look like
That's killer.
Who's
well,
it?
I'm on one side. That was the he was in the band, right, Marshall?
Demon Snippets, lead singer.
Ah.
Demon snippets. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
With,
I'm having
what's
Looks like
his name?
it looks like a scene from a John Hughes movie.
Yeah.
It does.
What was
Who
his
said
name?
it?
Anybody?
What was the bass player in Demon Snippets?
Neville.
Neville.
Neville James.
Neville. I remember Neville.
Kevin, you're
Kevin,
can't hear
you're
you.
muted.
I'm sorry. He was also the bass player in my band, The Pulse. Demon Snippet. Neville.
Neville James.
We called him Neville Cheese, but that was not his last name.
Yeah, Neville James. Mike's right.
No, Neville James. That's right. That's right. But we called him Neville Cheese. For
And
some
who was
reason.
that? Who was that other guy that we just showed? You know him?
I just walked in because I have to admit, I had to go to the bathroom.
You don't. It's okay. It happens to all of us.
Information.
This guy.
Where?
On the
Oh,
right.
oh yeah. He was fucking he was very competitive with us. I remember that. He was a theater guy. Whatever I forget his name. But a lot of people know his name. But they had a great band, but they were very competitive with us.
He's very committed. Even there, he's trying to get me and Mike to hang out with him instead of you.
That's right. I don't doubt that.
Marshall,
But you won. You won. That's what
Marshall,
matters.
who was in the Bacon Pit? The guy who was in the band with Neville, the black hair. He sang Kansas all the time.
Now.
He was in the pit on our floor.
I don't know, man.
No
I'm trying
recollection?
to remember.
This is what makes this great.
Had long black hair, and he was at the. No,
I don't know. I don't remember.
no.
What,
Personally, I was a Mojo Brothers fan.
yes.
Oh,
Yes.
love the Mojos
Awesome.
too. Hey guys, I'm sharing my screen with you. There's an old
Please.
pal of mine who we actually went to high school together, Hillary and I. She's listening in
Hillary!
Florida. She's listening in
Wow.
Florida. She found her ID and wanted to share it with us.
There you go. I'm collecting them. I have to get
Years
that.
that ID.
Thank you, Hillary. You had some head of hair. You still do.
Hey, Michael Kelly, how come you don't have that ID?
I know. It's got to be part of my collection. It didn't Hillary live with Sue Schmidt?
She did. I think she might even be listening.
Schmitty.
Shout out.
Am
Shout
I
out to
still
Schmidt.
sharing my screen? Sorry. Jesse
Yes.
Melly just
Yes,
texted me asking me what was the dial-in number.
Oh, we should get Jesse in.
Jesse
You know,
Melly.
Jesse was Alan. He was a roommate with Alan and I.
Yeah, I
That's
just asked
right.
him last week.
We were
Send
talking
him the
about it,
YouTube
right?
link, but then send him the Zoom link if he wants to say hello.
Yeah,
I did
let
a
me try to
Google
do
search.
that.
Well, he's big now. Will he fit in the screen? I mean, he works out. He's a big.
Yeah, he's a personal trainer too.
Tell you
Right.
something about Jesse. He was quite possibly the biggest partier I've ever met in my
Oh,
whole
you are not kidding. You
And
are
do you
not
guys
kidding.
remember how when Jesse comes on, he'll have to remind us how he laughs. Do you guys remember how Jesse would laugh?
I do.
Yes.
That was the greatest laugh. So he's going to have to do that for us when he comes
Maybe,
on.
maybe he can laugh. Yep. He'll give us
Yeah,
one
he-
laugh.
Yeah, somebody will tell him a joke or something.
Maybe he can tell me where the pasta fagioli he was going to bring back from Staten Island from his mother is.
Yeah.
Mike and I once went to a party at his house in Staten Island. And I remember the rice balls.
Oh, wow.
Oh my God. Yeah. His whole family could cook. My God.
And Dana,
talk like this?
you remember those rice balls? That's
Oh
what she
my,
would say.
yes, absolutely.
And we have all these Jesse. I remember being at college camp with 15, 20 people. Everybody was tripping except me that particular day. And the only one up was Jesse Melly, and he was rocking out to Needle and the Damage Done. I didn't know you could rock out to that song, but
I was
Jesse.
with you, and you said to him, Jesse, how in the world?
Nice.
And we actually, it was Tommy and Lauren, and the first hit didn't take, so we took a second hit, and then they finally kicked in, and we went for a
Michael,
walk.
who was that?
What's
That
that?
was me and Joel back in the day.
So
Yeah,
and
yeah.
and then Joel, you said to Jesse, how in the world after like 2 hits of acid could you be rocking out to the Needle to Damage? It's unbelievable.
Well, it really made an impact.
Maybe
40
that's-
years later, I still remember it.
Why?
Oops.
Hello?
Rocking out to it.
Yeah, I think we had a
And
little
rock out to
technical.
Dana. You remember
Yes.
the time we were at his apartment on 23rd Street and we were rocking out to Herb Alpert and the Tijuana Brass?
Kind of like Pee Wee Herman.
Jesus Christ.
Thumbs and all.
Oh, God.
Yep. I sent him the link. I hope he joins us.
I have some pictures of Jesse. I'm actually going to get off the screen right now. I'm going to go see what pictures I have.
Wow.
I'm gonna go
excellent.
get
You
some
lived on
pictures too.
23rd Street as well as Marshall? You lived on 23rd Street,
Yeah,
didn't you?
he did live on 20. They actually didn't live that far from each other.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
By the Chelsea Hotel, right?
Yep. Close to the Chelsea Hotel. Exactly. It's funny. So I was going to spend time with Jill talking about our personal grooming woes.
Oh, slow down.
What did they comprise of?
Well, you know, you got to do everything yourself. You can't just pay somebody to do it for you. So,
That's
Back
right.
then or now?
and it's time consuming, by the way. This box of L'Oreal did not just die itself here.
I had to help my wife last night with that.
Yeah, you can't do the back by yourself. That's
Exactly. That's where I was.
Wow.
That's what she
Washing
said.
gloves.
That's what she said.
Marshall, how you doing with that?
With my grooming?
You're 100% Santa Claus now.
Yeah, this is going. I've been keeping it trimmed. But yeah, and I have trimmers, but I'll probably just, who cares?
I get the hint. I need a trim. My wife is my barber. I should
Were we
be
talking about Joel?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah.
We finally have time to manscape. It's unbelievable.
Right?
I have a picture of Randall from back in the day.
Oh,
my
God.
And Skip. Randall
Wow.
and Skip. That's great.
With Pete Lavinia's Ibex. That's an Ibex.
And here's me and my roommate when I actually got this sweatshirt.
What dorm? What dorm, Jill?
Freshman year.
Where were you? What dorm?
McDuff.
McDuff.
With Randall.
Did you?
And you
puff
wearing
in
that same
McDuff?
shirt?
Did you puff in McDuff?
That's cool.
I used to have that t-shirt.
I have a shirt. I have a We Puffin McDuff shirt
I lost that
someplace.
t-shirt.
But I can't wear mine like Jill and Alan can.
That might be rough.
I do have other shirts.
Hey guys, we got two people in the waiting room. I want to Jesse Melly and
Jesua Felipe Melly.
Jesse.
All right.
Jesua Felipe.
He has to connect to his audio.
All right, here we go.
There he is.
Here we go.
Somebody tell him to connect to his audio.
Audio connected.
Jesse, can you hear us?
Well, he's down in Florida. They
Hillary,
move
can you
slow
hear
down
us?
there.
She just connected.
Hillary can
That's
hear us.
Hillary. Yay.
Unmute yourself.
Hillary,
Unmute.
unmute.
Hello, Jesua Felipe.
We can't hear you.
Jesse's now unmuted. Here we go.
Jesse Mellyman. Oh my God.
Jesse.
Hey, babe.
Jesse, wake up.
Hillary, you there?
I am there.
Oh, there's
Yes,
Hillary.
Hillary.
We have Hillary.
Hey, Hillary.
Hey.
Hi, Dana. How is everybody?
Good. It's been 4 years.
You down south somewhere?
Fun. It's been a long time.
Where are you with the nice son?
I'm in Wellington, Florida.
Oh.
Palm Beach
There you
County.
go.
Very nice.
Way prettier than Floral Park, New York, right?
Listen, if we're going to be stuck home, it's not a bad place to be stuck.
Not a bad place to be.
It's
true.
not New York, but
Where are you in Wellington? I was there.
Can I be heard?
Years.
oh, you were in Wellington?
As usual.
Oh, where?
Olympia.
Oh, I know a lot of people in Olympia. I'm like 5 minutes from Olympia.
How do you like Wellington?
What's that?
How do you like it?
I've been here about 14 years. I raised my family here. I like it. I miss New York. Right, Dana? We had a reunion, a high school reunion.
We had
it was
our
great
high school
seeing
reunion
everybody.
this October. It was terrific.
Right? We
That was fun.
reconnected. So, but Florida's nice. And I am totally in awe of all the nursing and all the healthcare people. So thank you so much for helping in New Rochelle. And I thought that was awesome. Really. So.
Hey, Jesse, we were just talking about your rice balls. How you doing?
Fucking great. How do I see? I've never used this before. How do I see everybody on the one?
Oh, you don't see everybody?
Swipe left.
The view.
First of all,
left.
you get your fat ass up and sit up off that couch.
Swipe-
That's how you do it.
That helps.
Put on a shirt. We got it.
Yeah, get a shirt on, will you? You're scaring the young kids in the background.
Oh my God.
Do you
Swipe
have
left.
do you have a zip code for those pecs, Jesse?
Listen, here we go. Now I see some people. Hold on.
Swipe. If you're on a phone, swipe left.
Swipe left. Okay.
Yeah, that's like Tinder.
Yeah. Wait, you
All right.
rejected us all? We're not good enough for you?
Is there a way for me to see everybody?
Yeah.
I think on the phone you can only see about 4.
You could
5.
no. If you swipe, you'll see everyone.
Swipe.
I'm swiping.
Keep swiping, babe.
Pull out a clip.
Swipe right. Swipe left.
You name everybody, Jess.
Uh-oh.
Awesome.
Swiped himself out of existence.
He swiped himself.
Jesse Melly from Staten
I think
Island.
he swiped himself.
DJ Danny Carbonara.
Oh, Danny. I remember Danny.
Remember him?
Yes,
I
I do.
have pictures of Danny.
Do you? Oh, you got to go find him, Hillary. We'll wait. Go ahead.
Wait,
I don't, I haven't heard from him since I left Oneonta.
Here's a
What a
great picture. Can I
motorcycle.
show you guys something? This is
Yes.
from that 1981 20th anniversary.
Oh my God.
Oh, geez. Screen share, baby.
Yeah,
Screen
that.
share.
I don't know how to do that screen share.
There you go.
I'd have
Oh
to.
my
Oh, guys, just
Joel and
just
that
pin
corn
video.
kissing in the corner.
Isn't that Danny Carbonara next to Joel Frank kissing some guy?
How do
Yep.
I make that
Isn't
big?
that Dan Fox?
Is that Al Brown?
That's
Oh, Alan
Pam.
Brown.
That's
On the
Al Brown.
left,
Yep.
with a
Yep,
hat.
that's him.
How can
How
I
about
see
if
a
I
big?
do it this way?
It's
Here you
Matt
go.
Corn.
Now that's Danny Carbonara. That's Joel. Who's that guy that you're kissing, Joel?
Matt.
Matt
Oh,
Corn.
Matt Corn. There's Matt
And
Corn.
who's that guy
Yeah.
with the fro?
Oh,
Fox.
Sam. That's Sam
Dan
Fox.
Sam Fox.
That's Jeff Lewis.
Jeff Lewis.
Lewis.
Jeff
Yeah.
Lewis.
That's Joe
Joe
Moss.
Moss.
Bill Morris
Yeah.
and Ann Kalaji.
No.
No, that's not Ankalaji.
No.
What was her name?
There's Sue Schmidt in the record library.
Moving right along. Sue
Sue.
Schmidt.
Sue
Schmidt.
Schmidt,
Oh my God.
That's Kathy Greenblatt.
Kathy
Is that-
Greenblatt.
She's
Kathy
supposed to come
Greenblatt
on today.
with the
Oh my
headphones.
and
I
who
think
is
that's Mike
that?
Kelly in the back there.
Mike Kelly.
There's Mike
Oh,
Kelly.
yeah.
Hold on. Whoops, what's going on here?
Wow.
Sorry. Try it again. Who's that guy?
He's got a name
That's-
tag. Zoom
Bruce
in.
Last.
Bruce
Yeah.
Blast.
That's Bruce
Wow.
Last.
Bruce. Yeah.
Also known as Blast.
Blast.
Yep.
Yeah.
B
Blast.
B Last.
Henry
B Last.
Rosenblum.
Henry Rosenblum.
Yeah.
Gene Falk.
That's me.
Seth
Miller.
Bank. There's
There's
Seth
Dan
Bank there.
Carbonara. Dan's on the right.
What a great.
Marshall, who is that you're kissing? Oh, it's kissing you.
Who's coming on to you,
I
Marshall?
try to forget him.
Meh.
It was kind of messy.
I tried.
I don't know who that is.
Did Mike know you were cheating on him?
That's why it was an issue.
Hi, Jess.
Hi.
How are you, babe?
Who's talking? Oh, hey, sweetheart. I'm okay. My family, I'm okay down here in Florida. I sequestered myself about 4 weeks ago because I had just gotten over pneumonia, which I now think is probably the virus because I was really sick. I had all the symptoms.
Wow.
I went home to New York. My father had a heart attack to visit him. I got sick, flew back, went straight from the plane to the hospital, and they put me on, I was on antibiotics and all sorts of shit. But this was in late February and early March.
That's about the.
That's when it
yeah.
started.
It
I got
started,
sent-
yeah.
Sent home from work on March 4th because the guy from New Rochelle worked in the building. So I
Right.
was working from home since March 4th.
Well,
I
just
live
to,
across the street from a hospital.
just to play
Yeah.
safe, I sick myself a month ago because I'm still all fucked up from the chemo and the radiation. So I've got,
Jeez.
unfortunately, my family in New York aren't doing so good.
Aw.
My brother started the experimental medication last night, and his wife is really sick, and my niece is really sick. They live with my parents, who are 90, but
Oh,
miraculously
goodness.
are okay.
Wow.
Jesse, I'm still waiting for the pasta fagioli you promised me from your mother. I love
Yeah.
that laugh, by the way. Can you laugh some more?
They still make me laugh.
I was talking about a night in college camp before you got on, where everybody went tripping and walking in the woods. You took 2 tabs of acid. Everybody was knocked out, and you were rocking out to Needle and the Damage Done.
Yeah, that's when we were walking water.
Can you laugh some more?
Water, wondering where the water was coming from. We were standing in it at the time.
Yeah, yeah.
I was talking about a night in college camp before you got on, where everybody went tripping and walking in the woods. You took 2 tabs of acid.
Oh, somebody's on delay.
Lisa, shut off. Lisa, Lisa,
Sorry.
shut off YouTube.
There's Lisa.
They can't see anything.
Hey, Lisa.
Hey, Joe, getting back to the college camp story. Can anybody hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Yes.
after we did the 2 tabs, we didn't get off right away. So Jesse said, Al, let's do a 3rd hit. And I said, Jesse, there's like no fucking way. I just took 2. There's no way we're gonna take a 3rd. And then shortly thereafter, it started hitting everybody. The Maniac want to go back for a 3rd. Unbelievable.
Oh my God, love that
Nice.
one.
Holy shit.
That's great.
That was my 30th birthday.
That's post Oneonta, of course.
Yeah.
Every time.
Listen, thinking about Jesse and Alan, I have facial hair because back when we lived together, we had a beard race. And Jesse and Alan, I won the beard race, and I've never shaved. I shaved the beard, but I've never shaved the mustache since then.
And this is the only second beer that I ever had. 2 years ago for like 3 weeks, and this is now about 3 weeks, only because I don't leave the house. So what the hell?
Yeah.
So is everybody in New York?
Jersey.
Jersey?
Kind of all over. Hillary's in
Yes.
Florida. You're in Florida.
Where in Florida are you, Jesse?
I'm in Fort Lauderdale. I'm on the Intercoastal.
Oh,
I
nice.
heard it's terrible there.
It's actually not bad at all. Not bad at all.
I heard it's the armpit of the world, and people go to die there.
Is that Dan Legani or Dr. Gupta?
But I didn't die, unfortunately.
Is that Gene Falk?
Dan Legani.
Hey.
Gene.
Dan Legani and Gene Falk.
Ed Hecht here wearing my Wony shirt.
Oh,
Nice,
Ed.
Nice.
Look at you.
What's up, Hey Scott? Yeah, I can't believe this thing still fits.
That is a tan, Dan.
Dan, what are you
Dan.
doing, man? You spending your days in a
Nice.
in a tanning salon? Look at you.
I live in Florida. I live in West Palm Beach.
Hey, we're
Nice.
neighbors.
If I lived in West Palm Beach, I would not look like that. But people don't do that.
I would never look like that.
My people do. I
Yeah.
cover my face with the sunscreen every time I go out.
Mike, your
Oh
people
my
don't
God.
tan. They
Obviously, you're
stroke.
not using enough.
It must be expired.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Now, before, as Gino is trying to connect to audio, I want to tell everyone the story of how I met Dan Legani, which involves Dana Maresca. She probably doesn't even know that.
I don't think I do.
So it was Halloween, 1981, Dan's freshman year, correct?
Correct.
And we started the night early, and we were at Red's, and we were tripping on something, and a group of us started dancing to the Dead, and Dan was dressed as Green. I remember that. That was his costume, Green. So night went on. It was a crazy Halloween night in Oneonta, and it got to like 2, 3 in the morning, and I couldn't sleep, and my date Mike went to sleep. So I said I have to do something, and Dana was on Wony. So I said, I'm driving up, and back then you were allowed to drive on mescaline. So I got in the car and drove up to Wony.
I got some stories for you.
And I guess it's Chestnut Street, but Mr. Green. And he gets in the car and he starts yelling at me. He's like, fucking cops, fucking bullshit. I guess he spent the night in jail because they would just pull people off the street. And that's how our friendship started. I dropped him off at his dorm, went and hung out with Dana on the air. She had some,
I remember
like, 5
that,
a.m.
Marshall.
show.
You were the 5 a.m., 5 to 8, the Fresh Air Fund. I remember that.
Yeah.
You were dressed as that crazy clown with the tie that came down to your ankles.
I wore that for every Halloween, bar mitzvahs, weddings.
Yeah, you milked that
For
thing
years.
badly.
That's for sure. Got my use out of that. So anyway, Dan, welcome.
Yeah, thank you. And every Halloween now, Marshall does mescaline and calls me on the phone, just for old time's sake.
Sort of our tradition.
Just to make sure you're still green.
Too funny.
Hey, Gene, can you hear us?
I can hear you now. Yeah.
Gene
Hey,
Falk.
It's Gene Falk. Oh my
It's been
God.
how many years? How are you?
I know, decades, right?
Yeah.
How many decades?
Is Shelly going to come on
Yeah.
too?
Shelly's around. Yeah, she's
So
coming
is
up. Yeah.
it okay if I share my screen with that picture that I was holding up before? I figured out how to put it on my desktop.
As long as it's not a PowerPoint presentation, Scott.
It may be. I'm not that sophisticated. Try this one. Hold on.
Hey, Shelly.
Hi, Shelly.
Hi, Shelly.
Did that work?
Wow.
Oh, very good, Scott. Thank you.
Love that.
Oh, yeah,
Scott in the
nice.
front.
There you
Isn't
go.
that you, Scott, in the
Oh,
upper
is that
right?
Calabrese?
Scott Davis in the middle.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and Marshall, the split screen on the top.
Yeah. Is that Calabrese, Joel?
Circle. I don't know. Where are you looking?
The one whose tongue out at me.
I don't know. I don't
Yeah,
see-
Marshall, I think it is.
Who's the person on the left with the cowboy
No,
hat?
that's not Calabrese.
Al
I
Brown.
recognize him, but it's not
Al
Calabrese.
Brown. Al Brown.
Al Brown. I don't remember Al Brown.
Al Brown, he's no clown.
Gene Falk, look at you over there.
That's
Yeah,
good.
look at
You
me.
look a little bit different. Not too much, just a little bit.
Now I remember you.
Oh, Gene, you look the same.
Who is
I can see
this?
that. Yeah.
He needs to shave the beard. Saying that as the wife.
But is that Scott Miller? Scott, is that you in the upper right at the front of the table?
Yes, it is.
It is you, yeah.
Oh
It
my
is.
God.
Yeah.
Hey, Scott, do you have any recent pictures when we were up there? What was it, about 4 or 5 years ago? When we were up there, the studio is just it was just barren. No record library,
Yes.
2 turntables, no needles in the turntables. And it's really, it's like a shell.
Oh, but Dana and I had so much fun when we did that.
You know who would
show.
have those pictures?
Oh,
Ed?
you sure
Dave
did.
Feinberg would have those
Blatt.
Oh,
pictures.
right,
Blatt
that's
would
right.
have those pictures. That's right.
That's right. He was
would.
the archivist of the group.
Jill, we took
That was
a few
5 years
pictures. I
ago?
gotta find those.
Yeah, I have them.
Maybe.
Good
Probably,
pictures,
you know, it was probably longer.
It was 5 years ago, was that? Good Lord. Time
I
is
think it
just
was
slipping
4.
by. 2016. I'm scrolling as we speak.
Too.
Me too.
So how many states do we have represented? Noreen, you're representing Washington State.
So Washington State is here in the house.
Mhm. Ed and I are in Florida.
Yep.
Florida.
Staying
Florida.
safe. Staying
And I
safe.
think, yeah, Jesse, you're in Florida, right?
Well, I'm Florida half the year and New York the other half the year.
Oh, yeah. Hey, you guys, you want to meet my new puppy? Here
Oh,
he is.
yeah, absolutely.
Here he is.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he's so cute. I wanted a dog for so long. My dog died about I have 2 dogs, but one of them died about 2 years ago, and I was really heartbroken. So I wanted a new one, but I couldn't do it because I work and I'm home alone here. So
Yeah.
This has been the silver lining in this
Oh, yeah.
pandemic for me, is that I got this little puppy. I adopted him about a week ago. He's only 9
Oh.
weeks old.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Aw.
He's
Congratulations.
awesome. And he's the most loving little guy ever. Like, he just loves being with me and sitting on my lap, and he's the greatest guy. And he's getting
What's his
along
name?
pretty well with my older dog.
Yeah. What's
Yeah.
your name?
Oh.
Noreen, how is the fig?
Poor
How is the
Frenchie.
fig tree?
The fig, well, you know what? I think I should bring the fig in. I got a new one. I'll show you guys. I'm going to walk and I'll show you guys the fig. I got a new one. I complained to this place and I said, die on 3 months, and mine was 4 months, but I said, look, it died way before that. I was just trying to keep it alive, but I'll show you the fig. You guys see it? It's the new one.
Oh, wow.
It's much better. It has dropped a few leaves, but I'm taking very, very good care of it, and hopefully it will survive. But I'll be posting regularly if anything happens, any updates, any critical updates, of course.
Oh.
Oh, Joel, like your pops.
Yeah, he matches into the foliage. We got him so he could be easily disguised.
Yeah, here's the few from 2016. Can you guys see?
Nice.
Wonderful.
You guys can show.
Awesome.
Jesse, I like that dog licking your head. That's great, man.
I got him neutered about 4 weeks ago, and he just started.
There's no name.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that one.
Hey, I recognize that person.
There's no
You look the
on the
same
hill.
from my collection.
Which hill was that? Where is
That,
that?
that must have been right outside of Fitzell,
Yeah, yeah.
which is where I spent almost all of my time.
Great
You know, I
bagels.
think at
Great
one point
bagels at Fitzell.
Yeah, you know what? I think at one point I was up to like 15 cups of Fitzell coffee a day.
Oh,
Seriously, yeah, I drank a
But
ton
you were
of that.
shaking.
Yeah, I was shaking. That was the point I knew to stop when I shook.
And in retrospect, it was not good coffee.
Right, that's right. Exactly.
So not. So
Mike,
But
not.
who knew that's how
Mike,
much did the coffee cost? It was probably like 15
Wow.
cents.
That's a good one.
And collage photos.
That's great.
And Cindy
Oh, that's a
Flood.
great one.
Cindy Flood. Wow.
That's awesome.
Meanwhile,
Mike-
every time I hear them asking for money on NPR, I'm like, Jackie Sincata. Amazing.
Oh,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, Jackie goes, she's not an on-air personality, but she goes on during the fund drives. Hi, this is Jacqueline Sincata. Please send your money to WNYD.
That's great.
Mike, did you want to show Gene something, Mike?
Jesse, what's on your head?
Maybe come here.
Must be tasty.
Mike, did you hear Joel? Mike, did you hear Joel?
No.
You want to show Gene Falk something?
Oh, yes, I do.
Oh,
Wow.
nice.
Tino's.
Tino's with cold cheese. Gee, somehow I ended up with your ID. I don't know why. I got it.
How did you do that?
I love that.
Here's my official Brad. You get a
Ah,
sign
there you go.
WNYID.
Anybody have their FCC license
so
lying
funny.
around?
You
I
probably
think I
had
have
yours.
mine somewhere.
Hey, Scott and Dan, it turns out we were up there April 2012. I
Joe
just found
Moss
this
in the room,
picture.
guys.
Jesus.
Joe Moss.
8
Joe
years.
Moss entering
Wow.
the room. Joe Moss entering the room. The famous Joe Moss.
Joe.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, Joey. Go on, brother.
Yeah.
You're on. You're on.
Oh, my.
Yeah, Joey.
Hey, Shelly.
Shut down your YouTube. Shut down your YouTube
Turn
volume.
your radio off.
Joe, you should know this more than anybody.
Lower the volume.
Hey, Joe. How you doing? It's Kevin and Marshall.
I know. How are you guys?
Good, man. Great.
Hi.
Good to see you.
Joe Moss.
Great to see you, man. What's happening?
Hey, Joe. I remember Joe.
Oh, you know, the usual stuff. What's up, you guys?
No, the very unusual, surreal stuff.
Unusual, real stuff.
You're not kidding, man.
True.
How you? You know, you were with us. What, 2-3 years ago? It's like 2
years
I
ago,
think.
yeah.
2 years ago.
18.
Yeah.
Maybe
You know, we know how you feel about South Florida, but I could trust me, it's a hot spot here in New York, so you're okay right now. Holy shit. Joe, tell everybody there's like 20 people on this and 40 people watching. You know, your years at Oneonta. What'd you do in Oneonta?
Hey, it's
Me?
Jacqueline Sincata.
Yeah.
Thank you, Joel.
I don't know. It's all a blur to me now.
Well, at least at
Likewise.
least give us your years and what you did at Wony.
Oh, I was there from 78 to 82. I was, music director for 2 or 3 years. Worked with the great Gene Falk, of course.
Awesome.
And, hung out at the radio station, opened up lots of vinyl albums, and got turned on to lots of music. I don't know if I would know a lot of the bands that I know now if it wasn't for being at Wony, you know?
Joe, I have to comment. You still have the greatest fucking radio voice
I
in the
told
world.
him that. I told.
You sound like you're on the fucking radio, man.
He's got a fucking $1 million voice. $1 million voice.
You're
I
correct.
have-
Yeah, and
it's
I
okay
do
if
web development now. I got out of radio years ago because it was a sucky profession to be in.
I'm gonna share my screen for, this is for Ed Hecht and Dan Legani and some of the later mid 80s people. This is a good picture I found. Check that out.
Henry
Oh my
Rosenbluth.
God.
That's our work.
He's
Yeah.
John Frisch right there.
Matt Hoffman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Matt Hoffman.
Matt.
Is that Howie Shargell with his mouth
Is that-
open?
yeah, I think that's Howie. Oh, that's
Matt Hecht?
No,
that's me.
Matt Hoffman.
I
Yeah,
think
Who's
that's
next to
David
Henry
Turnbull.
Rosenbluth? What's that guy?
And I just mixed up your name with Matt Hoffman. I called Matt Hecht.
Oh, yeah. No, so there I am.
No,
That's
there's no
me.
Henry Rosenblum in that. There's no Henry Rosenblum in that photo.
That's Bib,
Yes, this-
Rob
yes, there
Wonderman.
is. Oh, no,
No,
you're right.
that's Howard Shargell.
Is that Howie or Feinblatt?
Yes.
No,
Maybe
That's
Feinblatt.
Kurt.
That's Kurt.
Who is this?
that's
Rob
Rob
Wonderman.
Wonderman. Yeah, it's Bib.
Bib Wonderman.
Rob Wonderman.
Jackie Sincata right there.
Long
Um,
Island by that.
Wendy
And who's that
Golden.
next to John
No,
Frisch?
that's Lisa Piccinini.
Oh
Wendy
yeah, yeah.
Golden.
Wow.
Yeah, there's Wendy. Yeah.
Good pull. That's Wendy Golden. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do they know where you're coming from?
That's who? Lisa P?
Yeah.
Lisa Piccinini or something, right?
Yeah.
I think you said? Yeah. Jeez.
Awesome.
Love that.
That's crazy.
That's amazing.
That's a great
Amazing.
shot.
Love it.
So Gene, where are you? You're in Virginia?
We're in Virginia, yeah.
Just
Spent-
outside of DC.
Nice.
Still in the same place.
Yeah.
Spend some time in Delaware, but we can't go out there right now. They're stopping people at the state line.
Uh-huh. Where in Delaware?
Bethany Beach.
Oh yeah, I've been.
Oh, Bethany's
Nice.
nice.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Yep.
Marshall, I was hoping you'd get Howie on here for some spirited debate.
Yeah.
Oh,
Everybody's
Don't do it.
welcome. I'm just not connected with him, but if he wanted to come on,
That's a
No
bad
politics
idea.
today, though.
Keep the politics out of it.
yeah. Yeah, that would have been fun. Jackie
Uh,
Sincata is going to try to get in. Kevin, you see Jackie at all?
I don't see Jackie, but you know what? Let's do this, and I appreciate this. This is Danny Troy was 81 from Toby Hall.
Yep.
That's where he was. Actually, Joe, you might remember Danny Troy. He's on the front lines in Red Hook, Brooklyn, and it took a lot for me to actually say to him, you know, he couldn't get on. He was an essential worker. He just absolutely could not get on. So I said, listen, do me a favor. Put your iPhone in front of your face and give us a video. And it just came in. So may I play this for everybody, please?
yes.
Yeah, please.
Thank you.
Hey everybody, to my Wony brothers and sisters. I wish I could be with you today. I wish we could all be together today. But we can't, and I can't even do the whole Zoom thing. So Kev asked me to just say hello. Somehow I've become an essential worker in all this crap for these guys, Revel Transit. So when this all blows over, I invite you to join us. I'm running operations for these guys now, and we're an electric moped rental company. And right now we're providing free memberships to all the healthcare workers in New York City. So it's been kind of exciting. It's not what I was going to say, although it is exciting. It's freaking insane, man. Working lots of hours in beautiful Red Hook, Brooklyn. So meanwhile, I just wanted to say hi. I'm wearing my colors, which I'm guessing may look backwards to you, which explains my whole experience at Oneonta. I also managed to dig this up. A good-looking guy is yours truly at Wony in 1980. I'm so glad I found this because I thought I had lost it. It was the beginning of an amazing, actually, radio career for me. Spent about 25 years in the radio business before it started to really suck. And I got into this whole startup world. So special shout out and thanks to Jeff Lewis, who taught me the difference between a slip cue and a push cue, among other things. And remembering my first air shift, I was so freaking nervous. I think I said, hey, this is Danny Toy on WONY, Oneonta, here are the Stones. And I was so nervous. My mic was so overmodulated. It sounded more like. So if you heard that, I'm sure it was as memorable for you as it was for me. And anyway, I just wanted to send my love to my brothers and sisters from Oneonta. I hope you're all doing well in this crazy stuff, and hope we see each other next year or sooner. Peace, everybody. Bye.
Nice.
Oh, that
was
was nice.
Very nice.
How amazing was that? How amazing was that? You know, that was so good. Let me turn that
That
off.
was great. I think Kevin needs a tissue.
I need a tissue.
He needs a tissue.
Did you see that, Kevin, before you played it, or is that the first time you saw it?
That's the first time I saw it.
Yeah, it's pretty.
What happened?
I don't know.
Can you guys hear what I'm hearing?
What are you hearing?
No.
No.
Nope.
Your mic seems to be off though.
Oh, Alyssa.
Nice.
Great shot. That's a
Michael
great
took his
shot.
son,
Wow.
was he, last day of
That was
Oneonta.
my last day of Oneonta. I went around with the camera and started taking shots.
Oh, that's awesome. That's terrific. Yeah, I think I've got one here from Sue Schmidt, Jesse Melly. This is.
That's
you see that?
Jesse we know and love.
Yeah, look at that.
It's just, I think that's Lisa Dwyer. Sue Schmidt is on the phone, is on text. She sent that over.
I had. Dana, who's that next to me?
I think it's Lisa Dwyer.
Yeah, it could be. Where was this?
Is that the depot?
No idea.
That looks like
Yeah.
Ford's Theater.
Yeah.
It does look like Ford's Theater, the house where Lincoln died. Other than that, Mrs. Lincoln, how was the play?
Maybe it was at a college radio convention.
You know
The
what? It
conference in
was.
DC.
That's him.
Yeah.
There you go.
That's
Oh my
exactly
God,
what
yes,
it
we used
was.
to hang out with him.
But hold on.
That's it.
They can hear you.
Oh.
Okay.
It was the college radio conference in DC. We went like 3 years running. I remember that. 19 people in a hotel room. It was like clowns in a Volkswagen.
Bananas.
But no better trip than when the bus broke down on I-88 on the way home.
Oh my God. Yeah, I
Didn't
went
we
on one of
see
those
REM
trips to
at one of
DC. It was
those?
awesome.
Yes, we did. We saw REM.
I
And
tell that
Marshall-
story and I'm never sure if it was the truth or if I made it up.
And Marshall originated that famous phrase, we should lose like 12 of these people.
In front of them, right?
In front of them.
I didn't realize I could hear as I said it loud. That was embarrassing.
That was fodder for many a joke for many a year, I will say.
Joe Jackson propositioned me one of those. Well, yeah, his hotel room.
Kevin, Jackie.
Yes, his hotel room was a
Jackie.
couple
Okay.
floors down from ours.
She's coming in now. Thank you for reminding me.
Oh, Jackie.
And
Yay.
people were going through his garbage. And found
Yes,
he had
he is.
nasal spray. Well, we were on our way out someplace, and I said, us. And he said, no, but if you want to spend the night with me, that's okay.
Oh my gosh, there's another great one. Oh, Reggie. Oh, wow. That brings back a lot of memories.
Does. Shit.
Jeez.
That Lisa
That was-
Bernstein on the bottom.
Yeah, she's on the phone. She's with us, Jesse. She's here. She's next to Mike Kelly in the chat.
Let me get my fucking glasses. Hold on a second.
Some things never change.
Well, I'm jumping off. I've become the IT go-to guy here in my home. My wife's having nothing but iPhone problems, of course, since I've been home. So I'm dealing with that. It was good seeing you all. Stay safe.
Yeah, it was
Hopefully,
nice to talk to you.
yeah. See you all live soon sometime.
Take it easy, Ed.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Take care.
Take care.
And for any of the folks from Macduff, Monica's listening in and she says hi too.
Hi, Monica.
Wow.
Money.
Money.
Jacqueline.
Where's Miss Jackie?
I think you're
Unmute
muted, Jackie.
yourself.
You'd think you'd know you're in radio and all, right? Jackie.
There you go.
Oh my
Hi.
gosh.
Hey,
Hey.
it's so great to see everybody. Oh my God. Oh my God. Yeah, in
How
radio,
are
I
you?
don't know how to do anything. My goodness.
How are you
Dana
doing?
and Jill and Dan. And I think Ed just left before I had a chance to say hi. And Scott. Oh my goodness.
You missed the trip down memory lane. with
Unmute
Scott.
yourself.
I've been
Not
lurking.
seeing this, and
I don't know why I'm getting feedback though.
Turn off
you have
your YouTube
Do you have
channel.
YouTube playing in the background?
Yep.
Yep. Turn down the volume on YouTube or close the window. It's Kevin. How are you?
Go out of the picture.
I think they can see this tile.
Now I
Yeah,
can.
Scott Miller is showing some genius stuff over there.
It's okay.
Jesse, yeah.
Scott,
It's
Scott
okay.
hit
setting, I guess.
Don't worry about it.
Jesse, you
hit your
remember
screen
that?
share.
What?
You remember that?
Remember what?
That.
Is that you?
That's a nice vest.
Marshall and Jacqueline, if we could just break into Marshall and Jacqueline just for a second. Jacqueline, I don't know you. I'm Kevin.
I
How
don't
are
know you, Kevin. Nice to
Yeah,
meet you.
fantastic. Great to meet you. Just give us some years, give us some reference.
Okay, first I have to say the reason I was lurking is because I had surgery a week ago and don't feel very presentable. I cracked up my ankle riding my bike, having a little cabin fever from the quarantine.
Yes,
So,
this happens.
Yes, it does. It does, but it couldn't happen at a better time, I guess. Let's see, 1980 to 1985.
Good, that's me.
Followed Dan Legani as general manager. Kara Fogarty might be listening to this, and she's living in Washington, D.C., and she followed me as the GM. And yeah.
Know that.
And I think, Dane, I'm afraid that maybe I was one of those people you were referencing. We needed to lose a few people off that bus.
I would never say that about you, Jackie.
No, Jackie, you were A-list, baby. We would never throw you off
That's
the
very
bus.
kind of you.
Hey, how many GMs do we
I think
have on?
after.
We have 3 GMs?
Yeah,
And
and
a
there's
couple of
Gene Falk.
programmers.
Where's
Maybe
Gene?
more. Yeah.
Yeah,
So good to see you,
Programming
Gene. My
directors.
goodness.
it's good to see you guys. Really.
And we have
Jackie,
some
what's your
programming
hometown,
directors
Jackie?
too, right?
Sorry, what was that?
What's your hometown? Where are you
Yes,
calling?
Oh, I live just outside of Peekskill, New York,
Okay.
in the Hudson Valley, and I work down in New York City at WNYC Radio.
Awesome. Oh,
Yeah.
radio. So you work in radio.
I
He's
do. I'm the
program
program
director.
director.
So here's the thing, right? Let's be honest, right? There's got to be 20 people on my screen. Who now is still in radio out of this whole crew? And Danny just talked about that, 25 years, and he said the quote, the business went to shit. So Jacqueline,
did.
first of all, I give you a lot of credit. Is anybody else still in radio?
Hey, Robin.
Hi, Mike. No, but every time I make a donation to WNYC, I always hope that Jackie will want to hire me.
I didn't know you were looking for work.
Well, I am now. I'm furloughed.
I heard. I'm so sorry to hear that.
Oh, you know
Screen
what?
share your resume.
That's probably for the best.
From the
But I'd
marketing
love to
company?
work with you.
From the
Hey,
marketing
is
company?
Dr. Ring muted?
He's not on. He's not
Oh,
on.
because he said to say
Oh,
hello
wait,
to Jill and Dan.
He's on. He's
Legani.
on. Dr. Ring, you're on. You're on.
Did we lose Hillary Schutzer?
Oh, there he is. There's Dr. Ring.
Hi, how are you? I just wanted to say hi to Jill Weisner.
Hi, Doc Ring.
How are you?
I'm good. Lenny, Doc Ring's on. You want to come in?
Oh.
You're like an old Italian couple. Lenny, get in here.
Where did Hillary Schutzer go?
She left and said, thank you for joining. I know she's going to be so bummed, Jackie.
I just
I'm
got
gonna
to
text
say,
her.
when I was a freshman in Phippy, Hillary Schutzer and Sue
Phippy.
Schmidt were my next door
Sue Schmidt.
neighbors.
She was on. She's texting me, so she's
I
listening.
know. So please, if you're listening, Sue,
Big shout out.
hi. They were
Hey,
the
you guys,
coolest.
I'm gonna sign off, but it was really great to see everybody.
Noreen, take care.
Bye,
Noreen.
Noreen.
Awesome to see you all.
See you soon.
Guys, I'm going to jump
Come back to
to.
New York.
Thanks for coordinating, Marshall. Thanks for the invite. Jackie, good to see you as
Thank you,
well.
Dan.
You
Take
too,
Bye,
Dan.
guys. See you.
Great to see you.
Wait a minute, I want to
Say
say
hi
hi
to
to
Fiona.
Danny Lagani.
Dan,
You're on
wait.
still. You're on, Dr. Ring.
Hey, Doctor.
Danny's
How are you,
still
Dave?
there or not?
I am. I'm still there. How are you, buddy?
Oh, okay. How are you?
I'm excellent. Thank you. Thank you.
When did you move to Florida?
I moved in September, this past fall. My plan was to sort
That's
of,
his winter tan.
exactly. My plan was to sort of be back in New York for June, July, August, but I don't know about that right now.
No, not a good idea.
Yeah.
August maybe. Keep your hopes up. For August.
Absolutely. Well, it's excellent to hear
Well,
you.
it's good talking to you.
All right, guys.
Are the Weisners back on yet?
Weisners?
We're the
Dan, stay
Weisners.
safe.
Take care, guys.
Hi,
Take care.
Dan. Nice to talk to you.
Be good, Dan.
Weisners.
What happened?
Hey, Lenny.
Hey,
Hey, Lenny.
you know,
How are you, babe?
Lenny. Hey, Lenny.
Do that thing with your tongue.
What?
Tongue. That thing that you used to do. Did you have some fucking thing that you used to-
Too much information,
Jesse
Jesse. We don't want to be
Miller.
able
Oh my
to.
Yeah,
God,
really.
Jesse.
Like, we can't
Where's
unsee
Doc Ray?
that.
You missed him already.
I missed it.
I can't unthink that.
Is Dr.
Yep,
Ring still
exactly.
on?
Dr. Ring's on the phone.
Yeah, I'm still here.
He's here. Wait, let him come
We
back.
wanted to talk to Lenny.
Where's Doc?
He's on the phone.
Hey, Lenny, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. We were talking about rolling the headless Thompson gun earlier.
But you want to know something weird? Somehow Roland and Dan Lagani lived in the same neighborhood or
Yeah.
had some connection.
Larchmont.
Oh, really?
They
Did he
live
not talk already?
in Westchester, Marinac, one of those.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
Doc, you still racing those cars?
Well, they did.
No, I sold it. We were talking about that earlier too.
You got to keep up, Lenny. We're like 2 hours into this.
All right, I'm leaving.
Right.
Kathy,
No,
welcome.
Kathy.
go away.
Unmute.
Oh,
Unmute.
unmute. Yes.
So I just found two pictures of Scott actually, which I think will
Unmute
make-
again, Kathy.
How do I do this?
Hit the screen share button at the bottom.
Yeah, first bring the pictures up large on your screen and they hit the, yeah.
Then hit the
Okay.
screen share.
All right, this may take me a minute.
Kathy, unmute.
Talk
Kathy,
amongst
you're still muted.
yourselves.
While we're
Yeah.
waiting for Jill,
Kathy, it's Kevin.
Alex-
Go to your microphone button and hit unmute or mute. It will
On the
unmute.
left side on the bottom.
Oh my God, who's showing that?
Nice.
Who's
Concert
showing that?
calendar, Joe Frank.
Oh,
well, this
Excellent.
actually was sent to me by Alan Shapiro just moments ago. And I would like to nominate him for archivist.
Wow.
That's great.
It's
Look
terrific.
at those shows.
I know. I went to every one of those.
1979.
Yeah. That was when we were freshmen.
I got to introduce Southside Johnny. I remember that being so terrific because the Philadelphia Phillies were playing in the World Series, and the show they delayed the show, and during intermission we got to hang out with them, and they were huge Phillies fans. That was 1980, and they won the World Series that year.
I still
was a
have my
great show.
ticket stub for that Southside Johnny show at Oneonta.
I think
Do
this
ya?
was the last Spring Fest because it got two
That's the
actors
one I had
full with
pneumonia.
beer balls.
Wasn't it Commander Cody and Carolyn Moss or something?
I don't
like that?
remember. I sat in the truck with Commander Cody's road crew. It was pretty ugly.
That Dixie Drex show was quite possibly the greatest concert I ever saw, not knowing who I was seeing. It was
They were
Yeah,
amazing.
they were great. They were great.
You got your $3.50. You got your $3.50 worth, right, Alan?
I sure did. I saw mine ahead of time,
Here's a
too.
trivia question for you, Joel.
Yeah.
Who played with David Bromberg? What Oneonta student?
Oh, well, that would be Arnie Solomon, of
Yes,
course.
that would be.
Yes,
right.
very good, Marshall.
So who went to see you two at the Delhi Gymnasium?
Me.
Hello.
Me.
Hello. Hello.
Yep.
I have
hello.
pictures.
Me.
Let's-
me,
let's-
me.
let's
Was that
understand-
the best
Oh my
night
God.
ever? I've
Ever.
never seen
Nobody-
him again.
Oh
because
my
why
God.
bother?
Jackie, Jackie, I have a strange feeling we were together.
I'm sure.
that
Yeah, I'm
night.
sure. I'm
It's a
sure.
blur.
And Wendy Golden was probably right in the middle
Wendy
of us.
Golden, exactly, exactly.
I don't
So,
remember
do you
you
remember this,
playing
Dana?
in Delhi,
Right.
but I do remember them playing at Albany at Mayfest. And
They
I
played at
remember
Mayfest in Albany too.
in
you're
like
right.
1982. It
It
must
was
have
the
been,
war
right?
tour. It was the war
Right.
tour.
And I remember, I tell the story to so many different people. I remember Bono climbing the amp, the speakers,
Yep.
like holding.
Yes, and he
I
broke
was
his leg.
mad.
He broke his leg.
He was so
At-
frustrated
in
that people
Delhi, he
weren't
broke his
dancing.
leg.
He did? I don't
Wait,
remember
that wasn't
Oh.
the war tour. That was Boy. That was their
That's
debut
right.
album.
Oh, yeah,
Boy.
yeah.
No, this was the war tour. This was
I
right
think
when.
they were definitely
Oh, the
playing songs
Mayfest
from
was
war.
the war tour. The Mayfest was the war tour, but Delhi was
Wow.
Boy.
Mm-hmm. Maybe they were playing some
We have
songs
two
from
new people on, guys.
Thanks to
Two
Gene
new
Paul.
people.
Everybody, I figured out how to unmute.
Hey, Kathy, how you doing?
Kathy,
I'm doing great. How are you guys doing?
nice to see you.
Great to see
Hi.
you.
How are you?
I'm
Who's
doing
sharing?
fabulous.
What's
How are
coming
you
up?
guys? I'm in Florida too, by the way.
Hey, Florida.
And I got on my my Grateful Dead shirt, my Lithuanian basketball team.
All right.
Excellent. That's great.
Two
I
new
got my
people came
picture.
on, guys. Two new
And
people.
Andrew.
Who's
Has
with
Joe
us now?
Moss said hello yet?
Cooper's
Hello.
coming on
Dr.
too.
Loden.
He is, Andrew and Cooper
Is
are from the
Gene
younger
still on?
generation.
I'm still here. Yeah.
Gene, do you remember when we kidnapped Nipper?
Yes, I do.
You know what?
That
You
was a
have to
great.
tell that
That was a
story,
great
Kathy.
caper.
It was a great caper. Sorry, Joe.
Yeah.
Last
That was
year,
your dog.
Nipper had to go.
John?
Poor Nipper.
So who else has joined
Did
us,
anybody
Kevin?
see Nipper there when you were up there?
Cooper's joined us. I'm sorry. Andrew's joined us. Let's say hello to Andrew first, and then
Sure.
Hello, everyone.
Hey,
How's it
Andrew.
going?
Where are you,
Hey.
brother?
I'm in New Jersey.
And give us your Oneonta affiliation, if you will.
I'm class of 2012.
All right.
Brilliant.
Wow.
Finally, somebody who's like from this century.
Very jealous
Hey,
I saw the
Coop.
boy tour, though, I gotta say.
He's probably like, okay, boomers.
Jesse, are you completely naked? What's going on over there?
Florida, we don't wear down here.
Does anyone have pants on?
Hi,
I don't think we do.
Jesse.
So back to Andrew. Andrew, why do you seem like you're in the coolest studio that ever was?
Yeah, totally.
I'm in my recording studio attic.
Oh, neat.
Oh, it's brilliant. Where?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Wow.
What do you record?
And Andrew and Cooper, we met them when we went up. How many years ago? Who was the GM? We have another GM, right? Cooper, you're muted.
That
Was
would
one of you guys a
be
GM?
me. I was the GM.
Hey,
Yeah,
Coop.
there you go. Cooper was.
Hi, I'm sorry. I probably
Woody's
looked
on.
terrible.
Woody's on, but muted. All right, let's get back to Andrew because I want to give everybody their time, guys.
Yeah.
Andrew, what do you do there? Is this a commercial studio? Everybody else mute, please. Everybody else mute.
No, not a commercial studio. This is kind of what I've been doing during self-isolation. I just
I
decided
know.
we just bought this house in New Jersey, and I have my drum set here for the first time in actually since Oneonta, and decided to set up my recording studio and kind of record some stuff while I'm holed up here.
You doing any podcasts there? What's your affiliation with Wony?
I am not doing any podcasts up here. I'm currently recording an album covering Nick Lowe's Jesus of Cool for fun, just to keep myself sane.
Oh, very cool.
Love
I
Nick
figured y'all
Lowe.
would like
Love
that
Nick
one.
Lowe.
Oh,
Yes,
he's the best.
Totally. He's awesome. He's like one of the greatest songwriters ever. He's so underrated.
Absolutely, one of the best songwriters of all time, and
Absolutely.
it's seemingly only getting better with age.
Yeah, he is. Very true.
Oh, Loudon, I've been buried in my phone. You do incredible stuff. I love your posts from all over the country, and congratulations on the wedding and everything.
Oh, thank you. We just moved back from the West Coast.
You're in the West. You were looking for things to do in Portland.
Yes, I was. I was traveling the world doing television, and now I'm just doing television in New York. Well, not right now, but we moved back to
Belmont. You were in Belmont and Kentucky, all over
the place. I've crossed off a lot of states in the past couple of years, but yeah, just hanging out in my attic with y'all. And hi, Woody.
What's up? What's up? Nice to see you guys.
Hey, Woody, what's happening?
Some of the local folks and some of the old timers. Nice to see everybody.
You guys can pin. You can pin the video of the new people. You know that, right? You can go to the upper right of the corner, and you can say "pin video." So, Woody, we're on you now. Talk to us. Talk to us, baby. Where you calling in from? Give us your Oneonta heritage.
Yeah, I'm still here in Jersey. I've been here pretty much since I graduated and was divorced. And I'm still here. My Amanda is right here with me. So she's doing the self-quarantine thing, some school from home, just dancing online with all her friends. I've been real connected, though. I'm still working in human resources. So even though we're going to be slow for a couple of weeks, second all of our clients start to reopen, we're going to get real busy real quick, and we'll probably continue working at home. So that's cool. But Amanda and I were so bummed. Woke up this morning, hey, we should be at the bed and breakfast and getting ready to head up to the station and hang around and take the pictures in front of the same red dragon that we have every year and have the same conversations. And of course, Brooks and Cold Cheese Pete's I heard mentioned earlier. So, it's definitely different.
Absolutely. I want to go over to Cooper. Cooper, you're unmuted, or you should be now. Where are you calling in from? Give us your affiliation, please. Kevin here.
I am an alumni from 2012, same as Mr. Andrew Loudon.
Awesome.
Very disappointed, though, that you went to him first. This is a grave, grave injustice.
I think he came in first, but that's okay.
No excuses. No excuses.
Let's not let that millennial aspect shine right now. There's no time for that.
I am entitled to be first, and I am very, very disappointed.
This is the silently
giving us a bad name.
Andrew, you had your time. You go on mute, Andrew. This is my time.
I would like to say, post Oneonta time. Andrew and Cooper also were doing some craft beering together. I came up with the name Loden and Cooper for the beer, but it didn't catch on. I don't know. You guys still doing any of that?
Andrew and I just brewed a beer a month ago, and I couldn't share it with him because the pandemic struck, and I can't deliver. I got 5 gallons of beer that I got delivered to his house.
Now you have to take care of yourself.
He's got like Smokey and the Bandit pit down here with it.
Cooper, Andrew, somebody wants to say hello to you guys.
Who's that?
Hey, Andrew. Hey, Coop.
Hey,
Ray. How's it going, man?
What's up, man?
Good. Except with, the pandemic and everything, I'm not doing my radio show. But otherwise, I'm fine. It's good to hear you guys.
It's good to hear your voice, too.
Yeah.
Ring, I just
so
watched
you become a Jersey boy, huh, Andrew?
Yeah, I moved from New York to Washington State to New Jersey, so.
Where in New Jersey are you?
I'm in Maplewood, New Jersey.
Oh, yeah. One of my closest friends used to live there.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He unfortunately died of a heart attack a couple of years ago.
Oh, geez. Sorry to hear that.
Well,
That's old
Good
people
times.
talk.
Hey, yeah, heart
Yeah,
attack
really.
while playing hockey.
Which is a good segue to my prostate.
Oh, Marshall, you going to go into that prostate talk?
I have
Go
about
ahead.
a half hour on my prostate, but we'll skip that for now because the millennials are on. But Dr. Ring, Woody's on too.
Cut out.
Yeah, I know.
You guys.
Hi, Woody.
Kevin, thank you. Marshall,
Scott, I
Michael.
love you, man.
Scott, thank
Wait,
you.
don't
Everybody
go.
stay
All the
safe.
best.
Wait,
Good to see you.
Scott,
Be
wait
fun.
one
Good seeing you,
second.
Joe Moss, wherever you are.
Wait one second,
Jill
Scott.
wants you to wait, Scott.
Wait,
Jill wants you
wait,
to
I want to see if I could do this screen share thing.
Hold
You
on.
can, please do.
And there you go.
Oh, nice.
Wait, I gotta take a
Wow.
picture of that.
Oh, yeah, screenshot that. Guys, I'm recording
Screenshot
this
it.
whole thing.
Wait, don't. Hold on.
You can give this to your grandchildren. The whole thing is recorded.
Thanks, Jill. I
really.
really appreciate that one.
Look how cute.
Meanwhile, I really like that shirt.
Well, it does go with the orange walls.
He even wore a necklace.
I don't like
And
that
wait.
caterpillar on my top lip, though.
I think I had another one. Let's see, where did it go?
Put up a different
All right.
picture.
I have to find it, and I'm not that talented, so hold on. Let's just get rid of the screen share thing. And how do I get back to real life?
Look at that.
Hey, you're so cute.
Let's see, where's the other one?
Scott, nice stash.
Thanks, Mike.
I don't know where it went. Sorry.
Alma.
All right, how do I, stop share. Okay.
There you go.
I'll look for the other one. The other one was on the bus to the convention in Washington, D.C.
Oh,
my
that would have been
gosh.
a really good one, Jill.
All right,
Hey,
wait,
guys,
here-
peace out. Be well, everybody. Stay
Take care,
safe.
Scott.
Bye,
All the
Mike.
best.
Take care.
Bye.
Jesus, Rob.
Guys, those of you that were in Oneonta, I'm interested in like trying to relive like some of the keg parties that happen in like the town, Center Street, Spruce Street, 2012, chime in. I mean, Joe Moss, please, just anybody, just talk about these times. Dana, please, just talk
I
about
have a good
this.
photo of.
You remember Bob Bubser?
Yeah.
Bob.
Their house.
Bob Bubser and who? Mansfield?
Right, in Mansfield. They had an after hours and they ran out of cups. So I went into their garage and I found a flashlight. I think I could use that cup. So I drank the beer. When I get to the bottom, it was a corroded battery on the bottom.
That explains a lot.
Yeah.
Already poisoned.
It totally does.
At the Fairview House.
Hey, Kevin, we wanted to talk about, we were chatting a little and we were talking about our years in college, and this is no slight to you guys, Andrew, Cooper. I think that those are the only ones on. We were saying like we might have been in college in the sweet spot, like the best time. If you
Absolutely.
think about it, 'cause
I agree.
drinking age was.
I have a
18.
good
We talked
point
about
on
this. It was
that.
Post-draft, so we don't have to worry about that.
Right.
No
exactly.
political protests, which might have been interesting or fun, but none of that.
You ready for this? How
Um,
about this? No cameras. No
What's that?
cameras.
No
No
cameras.
cameras.
No cameras, which would have been nice to have some video, but maybe a little
Yeah.
damaging.
Nickel Pierce at the Royal.
But anyway, a great time
Oh,
to be in
look how
college.
It's Gene.
All right, so yes.
There he is.
It's Gene.
Brilliant. Brilliant. Awesome. Awesome. Hey, Mike, there you are, baby.
I think I'm in there somewhere.
Oh, I see Marshall.
Where?
Marshall, you're
Right
behind
here.
the guy in the white shirt there, smiling
Yeah,
in front
yeah,
of Noreen. Noreen, is that you in the back?
Joe Moss and Gene Falk.
Mm-hmm.
Joe. Yeah, the guy
Wow.
Dave in
See
front
Henry
of me.
Rosenblum.
We
Henry
have that
Rosenblum
picture.
was
We have,
Yeah.
we
checking
have
in,
the
right,
yearbook,
Marshall?
yeah.
What's that?
Henry Rosenblum was going to check in.
Take
that true?
note of
I
the
messaged him just now. I didn't really talk to him, but he hasn't
No,
messaged
you
back.
don't. I don't think so.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
Take note of the Miller highlight T-shirt.
So just back to those times, Marshall, that ready? Put everything in perspective, right? Post draft, ready? 18 years old for the drinking age, right? What did we? No cameras.
I
no security
remember
cameras.
about 3 or 4 years after I graduated, we went up for Halloween. I went with Roland Caputo, and he was dressed up as Sherlock Holmes. And this wasted guy in the brig comes up to him and goes, "You guys, you don't know, Oneonta is the best place in the world. It's so much better now than when you went here." And Roland takes his pipe from his Sherlock Holmes costume and goes, "Let me tell you something. First of all, the drinking age was 18. There was no AIDS, and the ratio of girls to guys was 7 to 1. Now
7
you
to 1.
tell me who had more fun?" And the guy just cried.
Yeah, it was pre-HIV. It was right after Animal House, which was a great influence, like with the parties and stuff.
Marshall, you bring up.
It was really like the perfect time. It was fun. Good time.
It was.
So give us
Doesn't matter
the
the year. It's a
give us the
good
2012 version of that, guys.
I got some photos if I could share a screen.
Hey, I'm
Yeah,
gonna jump off,
yeah, do it.
everybody.
Hold
Do
on a
it.
second.
I'm gonna
Jacqueline,
jump
take
off.
care.
Hi,
Jackie,
Jackie.
take care.
Jill, I
Yes.
can't believe you live in Forest Hills. I live there, but maybe we didn't overlap, but you should send me an email at the radio station about a job. And I'll see if I can pass it along.
Sure.
Just-
I have nothing to do with radio, but you never.
But it's
know.
marketing, right?
Yeah, I work for a company that sells promotional products and printing.
Well, anyway, my email address is my first initial and my last name at wnyc.org.
Beautiful. So nice to see you.
So nice to see you. So nice to see you, Dana. Where the hell is Wendy Golden? Joe
She
Moss,
was supposed
great
to
to
be
see
here.
you.
She
Great
got
to see
said
lost
she
everybody.
between
was
the living.
busy.
I think she got lost between the living room and the bathroom.
Probably.
She was supposed to be here.
Probably. Anyway, great seeing everybody. Thank you very much for
Bye-bye.
organizing this, guys. Bye-bye.
Take care.
Bye.
You know what's so funny about this?
Still
You
going.
know, this Brady Bunch is going to go from 12 to 2. It's going to be me and Marshall talking about prostate.
There we go. All right.
Now, this was at an essay meeting. This,
Oh my
me on the
God,
left
that's
and Andrew on the
hilarious.
right.
That is terrific.
Oh, Jesus.
That saxophone was actually later
We're sorry you
donated
guys aren't
to the
30 years
college.
older. Oh my God, that's hilarious.
We used to do a lot of
Look how
karaoke
nice he doesn't have
parties.
it to his computer.
That's great.
Nothing
The
changes.
ghost of Wony.
Nothing changes. Nothing really changes. Awesome.
Wow.
Everybody adapts.
Oh my
Yes,
God,
we
that's
are.
fantastic.
It was 20 degrees in that apartment too, if I remember.
Oh, it was
Yeah.
so
Really?
cold in my apartment. That was my
Yeah.
house. That was where I think a lot of you came to the 50th anniversary party.
Yes,
which
that
I'm-
was you. You had special homebrew that year, didn't you? Special bottled homebrew.
I think we did, Cooper, right?
I think so. I can't remember.
Bottled Wony beer.
Yes.
I think that's true. I had forgotten about that.
That's amazing. I could remember it and you don't.
Yeah, right.
Well, we were drunk, so you know.
Yeah, it was
That's
quite-
true.
it was quite- there was a secret upstairs I kept seeing people go to, like 2 by 2. They would just go upstairs, and they would.
Yeah, me and Andrew.
It was a stair by.
Clearly, those photos tell a big story of that. You know.
Oh yeah.
Love that. That wasn't the year of Amanda.
That was different. You have a video of that year, don't you, Kevin?
I do have a video of that. Yeah, but I'd like to show you something.
Actually, I'm trying to find
You guys
a
are
video.
insane.
Of Amanda, when we were in the back of the van.
How about
was
this one, guys?
hilarious.
Can I show you this one?
Yes,
This-
I want to see this.
This is interesting. All right. This is really interesting. Here we go.
This is rolling, so I'm ready.
All right, go.
Get him doing his thing.
All right.
Wait, announce it. I want a little bit of. Wait.
You're shotgunning.
Mike, get up the mic. Get
style.
up the mic.
We're shotgunning.
I don't mean that. Show Mike.
Onion style.
Yeah, no. Oh, Jesus Christ. I don't know. Let's
And we got a beer bath.
Oh, that's beautiful the way you did that.
That was a little sloppy. It's been a while. Get over there. Put it to your mouth. And then. Ready?
Now,
Open it up. Come on.
Open it. Yep, there you go. Now open it.
And go. Good boy.
There you go. Empty.
Here's our host. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
You're making a mess. Can't take that guy.
Those are some great knife skills.
I mean, come on, guys. Think about that for a second. You know, you saw old and young there. I was the older asshole doing that, but that was awesome.
I have a video from the 50th that it features another knife, but a machete that someone decided to bring out. I don't know if you all remember that from a couple of years ago.
Oh, man. Let me see it.
Yeah. All right.
You got it.
I do. Hold on one second. So, yeah, someone brought a machete, which was also very fun. And then I got a message afterwards saying, "Hey, I had a great time. By the way, my machete's in your bushes."
Oh my God. Full screen that baby.
Yikes.
You're not sharing. Reshare. Andrew, if you can hear me, reshare.
Hello. Oh, reshare. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, reshare and
My
full
bad.
screen it.
You think I would know how to do this, right?
Yep, you're a millennial. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I know. Get the jokes in. All right, hold on. Let's see.
Dr. Ring, you're still on. I love it.
Yeah, I am.
The machete. Oh my God.
Here we go. This is awesome. Oh my God.
What's the guy with the head in the background?
Nice.
Nice.
Come in. I'm on. Whoa, come on in.
Was that a Wony staff meeting?
Anyway.
Brilliant. Brilliant.
Jeez, that's great.
All right.
Any year, any decade, it's all brilliant.
The tradition continues. I'm glad to see you kept it up. Nice job.
So good. Wow.
I would like to just offer congratulations to Kathy Greenblatt Hudson on her completion of the 20 album challenge.
Thank you. I actually went through all 20. Could you believe that?
That was great.
Thank you, Joel.
I was following. Yeah.
And I cannot tell a lie.
I
do have some albums that have notches cut into them.
Yeah, cutouts.
What's wrong with that? We all do, don't we?
With discounts.
And does it have autographs on the cover too in black marker?
No.
I do also want to say that I am living vicariously, my music career vicariously through my son. He's working out in LA on Columbia Records.
Phenomenal.
Oh, wow.
Great.
Cool.
So I live through him.
Oh, nice. What's he doing there?
He works, he's a digital marketing manager for Columbia on the Sony lot. So
Oh, cool.
he's
He's in
very
LA?
yeah, very, very happy.
Where in LA is he living?
He lives in West Hollywood, works in Culver City.
Okay, yeah, my daughter's near there.
Oh, what is she doing?
Well, she was, now she's in Chicago.
Oh,
But they still have their apartment in LA. They, long story, but anyway, she got a job as a writer's assistant on a TV show.
nice.
And it's based in Chicago, so she's there, and now her and her boyfriend are sequestered there with the apartment back in LA. And they're still there, and she's actually still working on the show because they're just doing some stuff, on Zoom or whatever. And then hopefully they'll get out of there, go back to LA, and then she'll come back, and hopefully they shoot season 2 of the show this summer. It's called Work in Progress on Showtime.
Nice.
So.
Very nice.
Cool. Yeah, I watched that. It's a good show.
Yeah, it is. It's funny. It's worth watching.
Listen, folks, I'm going to run. I want to thank everybody, and I'm impressed by everyone's memory. I guess those 3 hits I did a college camp fucked me up.
Bye, Jesse.
Jesse, it was great to see you.
Yeah, it was great to see you,
Well,
sweetie.
hey, everybody.
Jesse,
Take
buona
care.
fortuna.
Be well.
Ciao.
Take care.
Oh, put on a shirt. Oh, he's gone.
Well, he did fit in the screen.
He's big. There he is. Joe Moss coming back.
Joe Moss, what can you say about people who stole records from the record library? I think of Chris Rogers and Ron Blunt.
Never did it.
What about the record library?
Yeah, somebody shut off YouTube.
Not me.
Kevin, you're muted. Kevin, you're muted.
Joe Moss, people who stole records like Chris Rogers, Ron Blunt, what happened to them?
think they're
Shut off
missing.
your YouTube, guys. Shut off your.
I know nothing.
I think that's you, Joe. Shut off your YouTube, please.
A friend of mine who's listening just texted me, said, does Jesse own a shirt? And I do not know the answer to that. So good question, Howie. Thank you.
I think he's got like a tank with like the rip, like flash dance. Oh my
cute.
God, there's
Oh, wow.
there's
David
Jay.
Joe.
I believe I took that.
Nice.
I
You
believe I
did,
took that.
Kevin. That's right.
Yes,
That's
I
a
believe I
great
took-
shot.
Where's
love
Ray
that.
Circle?
Much fun.
Oh, yeah, where's
That was
Ray?
a lot of fun.
My face like hurt after that. I smiled so much.
I know, we were laughing so hard.
Yes.
And then we
Awesome.
watched your son play baseball, right? He was in
Yep.
Oneonta. No, New
Yep.
Paltz, right?
New Paltz.
That
Yep.
was the year that you changed the time of the show, Marshall.
Yeah, that was funny, wasn't it?
Oh,
We
it's
video of that too.
Man, you guys got to get out of the house more. Oh, wait, you can't.
That was funny.
Yeah, I'm kind of known for that, you know?
I want to show you guys a picture I have here somewhere in Roots of all of us. It's really great. Here it comes. Please take a look at this coming up. You're going to love it. It's Kevin, by the way. All right, let's try this. All right. How much do you love this?
Oh, nice.
Oh my God.
Dana, what are you thinking there? What are you thinking
like-
there?
Like when I should lose like 12 of these assholes. That's what I'm thinking.
Great minds. I was about to say it. You beat me to it. How do I lose
mean-
4 people? How do I lose 4 of these people?
Oh my God.
It's great
That's
shit,
a great
right?
one. That was a good one.
Oh my God. All right, here comes Rob. I don't know him. Do you guys know him? Rob Guerrero. Here he comes.
I think we're going to have some current students coming on now. That's
Oh,
the
I
plan
hope
for the
so.
last part of the show.
Hey, Rob.
Excellent.
Welcome.
I think,
Kevin and
Natalie's
Marshall.
supposed to come on. And I'm guessing, Rob, you're a current student. He's connecting now.
He's still connected to audio.
Still connecting. Hey, Rob.
Rob,
welcome.
unmute. Can you unmute yourself? And then,
Hi.
yeah, I think the plan was, and it's gone nicely, to sort of end
Very
the show
nicely.
with some current
Very nicely.
students.
Very
Yep.
nice.
Is that
Nice
Natalie?
segue.
Welcome. Yep, Natalie's on now.
Natalie's on. Anthony.
Anthony. So we have some current students right on time. That is
Beautiful.
really great.
Beautiful.
Extra points for punctuality. Please
Welcome.
unmute yourselves. And welcome. Riley's coming on, we see. Wow, this is a nice turnout.
There we go.
Very nice, guys. How are you?
Good.
How you guys doing?
Doing all right.
Unmute. Natalie, unmute. Riley, unmute. Rob, how you doing?
Oh, oh, I'm doing all right.
Yeah. Are you
Where
guys
are
current
you?
students?
What? Yeah, I'm a student.
You guys
Yeah,
are all
we're all
current students. We're the group that's old enough to be a grandparents, so
I know.
joining us.
But we started it all. Don't forget.
But we can party like it's 1981.
That's for sure. We still got it.
So let's do this. Let's go right down the line. Rob on my left, just give us your year, your affiliation, where you are, what's happening. We're going to start with Rob, then we'll go to Natalie. Hi, Rob.
Okay. Hi, I'm Rob Guerrero. I'm a student graduating in 2020. Well, graduating in the spring, or technically the fall.
Oh,
Currently in Long Island, in my house. And
What town? What town?
Lindenhurst.
Excellent. Okay.
Yeah.
South
And-
Shore. Yep.
And I'm the events director, and I'm also a DJ on Wony.
Awesome.
aw.
Natalie, give us a quick intro.
Sure. So I'm Natalie. I'm the general manager. I'm also a senior, graduating in May, technically August now, but that's fine. I'm up in Rochester, so things are good here. I don't think the virus hasn't been as impacted upstate as it has been downstate. So we're all quarantining in our homes nonetheless. But I'm actually going back to Oneonta in a few days because we have people doing shows currently. So it's got to go check in on them. So
Wow.
Thank you. Anthony, I
Nice
see
to
a
see
ceiling.
ya.
You're around, Anthony?
Yeah, I'm right here. How are
Talk
you?
to us. Hey, good. How are you? Where are you calling it from?
I'm actually in Oneonta. I decided to stay because I live in Suffolk County and I didn't feel like dying from a disease. So I'm here.
What town? What town?
Oneonta.
No, what town in Suffolk County?
Suffolk County.
Oh, Brookhaven.
I'm in Shoreham
yeah.
right now. What town?
Really?
What town specifically?
Oh,
Brookhaven. Okay, South Shore. Awesome. Cooper, I'm seeing you, and now we're going to Riley.
Hi, I'm Riley. I'm a sophomore music industry major and a DJ at Wony, and that's really it to me.
Where are you from?
I'm from Cooperstown, so I'm 20 minutes out of Oneonta. Baseball Hall of Fame.
And I just want to say that I feel lost without baseball. I just want to say that.
Oh.
Rosemary.
Me too.
Hi. I'm Rosemary. I'm a senior graduating in, I guess, August too. I'm from Queens, New York. Yeah, I'm a media studies, but always kind of want to be involved in music and kind of go into that scene a little bit. So yeah, I joined the radio station last spring. And
Awesome.
yeah,
So guys, you know, this is hard for you to believe, but in 1983, I was in the music industry major with Janet Nepke. We started it that year. I mean, I just want to give you this whole scene, right? And we used to practice. I see all your smiles. I love this. We used to practice our music industry major at a studio in, oh my God, it was up on the hill there. I forget the name of the town, but it's like 20 miles east. Stamford, New York. And that's where we started the music industry major, which was amazing. And many of my friends, Danny Toy, that was just on before, went on to 25, 30-year careers in radio and media. So I love to see the fact, Marshall, Joel, my brothers, Randall, Mike, isn't this just great to see the 30 to 40-year difference? This is better than being there. I have to be honest.
I was just about to say the opposite.
No, I mean,
I was just going to say, I love seeing all you kids.
What the fuck is that? That's awesome. Who's showing that?
So
Who is doing this to me?
We're doing some interacting with the current
That's in
students
Oneonta.
of different years.
Hence why I love this.
Yes.
But it is great to see you kids, and it's great to see the enthusiasm for Wony, for Oneonta. We love it. I wouldn't say it's better than being there. We really, really wish we could be saying hello and interacting and being with you. And I think one of the things that we've talked about, like, this is a nightmare for all of us in all different ways. And then, you know, it's not especially, but you know, I've been thinking about you kids, like losing part of your college lives,
Yes,
your last month of school or last months of a year. I'm sorry. Yeah. It's so hard. Like I ache for you. I feel for you. And I think we all do, as we do for all different situations, whether it's losing jobs and other things that are going on, but it is hard. So it's great to see you guys with us, and it'll be a story. It'll be a story like everything will be, whether it's, you know, babies being born or, you know, trips or whatever, meetings or whatever types of things will be happening after this. But we'll get through this, and I think we empathize with you.
I want to ask of the five or so of you that just came on, who's currently doing a show at the radio station? Or was.
Oh, I think we're all on air
Good, cool.
right now. And I'm gonna, once I go back to Oneonta, we have a couple of students I know that are doing shows currently, and then I'll start my show back up too. Might as well. I literally can't do anything else.
Yeah, exactly. Are you throwing in podcasts or anything, you know, through the station?
Yes.
So Anthony has his own podcast, which I'll let him talk about, but Anthony and I are kind of, Dr. Bottomley, our advisor, wants us to do some sort of COVID-19 day in the life podcast. Obviously it is not off the ground whatsoever, but Anthony can talk more about the whole podcasting.
Anthony, I'd love to hear from that, because here I'm on Long Island, by the way. I'm in Port Jefferson. I'm 4 miles from Stony Brook, where we are throwing in recorded podcast, the Stony Brook WUSB.
Oh, I love them.
Yeah, they're
I love them.
it's the closest thing to Oneonta that you can ever get. And Wony's first, USB second, but this is where it's at, man. Tell us what you're doing.
So, for the COVID-19 podcast, we're in the planning stages right now. And as Natalie said, the farthest we have content-wise is just a day in the life type of thing, how we're managing, recording, and distributing material. My podcast is Backpacking America, and basically it's turned as an analytical podcast where I talk about like cultural and social things going on in our country. And recently it's been more of a niche thing where it's like where I'll talk about like local music gigs and local like professors and their interesting stories they have, or we'll talk about things such as race and their intersects. And it's really an interesting podcast because it's so niche and very specific, and we go into the intellectual side of it a lot. So that's basically what I do, and I would air it on WONY every Sunday night from 10 p.m. to 12 a.m. and I would do like a live episode. And recently, because I can't really do that as often as I'd like, I've just sent in like all my clean recordings where there's no explicit language into production, and it's being reviewed currently. So that should air at 8 a.m. and 12 p.m. And that's so far like how I'm planning the production of it. It's also been hard like recording because it's very depressing being in isolation.
No doubt.
I'd say like the first week or two was like, what do I talk about? So I talked about how the country was responding to COVID-19 and how there was a lot of conspiracies that were just disgusting. I mean, disgustingly unfounded and unprofessional, and just really hyperbolizing like racism and all that disgusting stuff. And after that, it was like, okay, well, what do I talk about other than disease? So recently I just released an episode about a local musician. He's a guitarist for the Marijuanas. They're a band that's been around for the past 4 or 5 years, and they were just really getting into popularity like my freshman year. So that was a nice break from something serious. And there's a lot of other episodes too. Like one of our great musicians, Ethan Tepper, is a disabled musician, and he's like autistic, and he talked about how disability and music work together and how it's made him like a better musician. And we discussed like how he basically created his own band by himself. So he knows how to play drums, guitar, bass, and can vocalize. So he played every single instrument per song, mixed them and mastered them all together, and then performed them live at the Black Oak. So that was another thing we did. I talked to another professor. I don't know if you guys had her, probably not, but her name is Gayana Tarosian, and she was from the Soviet Republic of Armenia. And we talked about her life in the Soviet Union and the contrasts and comparisons to Soviet life. So those are just like some things that I talk about, and I'm trying to put all of these podcasts on air, so that way there's at least some form of community bond that can be had here, because I think public radio is so important, especially in a time like this. I mean, you need a break,
Yeah. So I want to shout out to Anthony. The only moving subject of the 18 or 19 of us that are on, he's moving through the hallways. It's like unbelievable. I love it so much.
Thank you.
Thanks for keeping this alive, Anthony. And
no, not a problem. It's
awesome.
Really, it's a privilege. It's really a privilege.
I think, not to interject, but I know, at least from like a school standpoint, they were trying to shut down all of like the clubs and activities because school's not in session or whatever. But I know Dr. Bottomley and I was on spring break in an airport, trying to get home amidst the whole virus. Everything was getting shut down, and we made this whole plan. And Dr. Bottomley was like, said it to the school, and the school's like, are people actually going to do this? Like, are people going to stay for their shows and do all this? And Dr. Bottomley's like, yeah, of course we're staying. People are staying, like helping the community get information, things to stay alive. So people like Anthony, people that are in Oneonta or that are back home and sending stuff in to keep Wony alive, I think really just a testament to the people that are in Wony and what Wony is. So very proud of everyone right now.
Thank you for your service.
Natalie, look around. There's still 17 people here 40 years later, many of them still active. This is going to be you one day. This is your future.
I know. This is me. That's what I tell people. I'm like, Wony Alumni Weekend is just, it's me, but looking to the future. Like, so.
And you will treasure a time in your life when you're older and you can feel like you're 20 again.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure.
And the scary part of that is when you do come back to do this 30 years from now, 35, good percentage of us will be dead.
Oh my God. Oh my God. That is not funny.
Yeah, that's hysterical.
That what he was trying to say is that when you come back and do alumni weekend, when you are in, 3 decades on,
right,
you will still feel like your 20-year-old self.
You will.
Yes.
And your face will hurt from smiling so much.
You will. And
Don't
38
listen
years
to
from
Marshall.
now, Joel's the only one. Oh, really? Yeah, he did still be here.
Well,
oh my!
I probably have the record for the most alumni shows.
98 years old, he'll still be coming to Oneonta alumni weekend.
Natalie, since you weren't here earlier, you see, you can still like, this was me.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
And I still have the fondest memories, so don't listen to Marshall.
No, I have the fondest memories. I'm just being realistic about 38 years from now, but.
Someone asked about Ray Cal.
Somebody's got to shut off their YouTube volume.
I did. I asked about Ray. He's not participating today.
I don't know what happened.
Been hit or miss over the past 40 years.
Yeah, he did come to my 40th high school reunion.
Yeah.
I've known him since elementary school.
I know.
I'm down the YouTube.
Somebody has something.
Somebody has to mute YouTube, please.
I don't think mine's on.
Just everybody recheck.
Hang on.
It's probably a newcomer.
Okay. We have a new guy, David. How are you, David? Hi, David. How are you?
We're pulling the permits and doing our work, but we're not getting any inspection.
It's all your Oneonta friends, David. Introduce yourself. Let's get that YouTube. You know what? I'm going to mute everybody just so I can get rid of that. Give me a second, please. Give me a second.
You have to mute one at a time to figure out who it is.
I'm muting. Okay, everybody's muted. All right, let me get David on. Here we go. David, how are you?
Hi, I'm doing great. Just living in quarantine and it's really hot in this room, but yeah, but I'm doing as best as I can with the situation that's going on.
Where are you, David? Tell me where you're from and where are you right now?
I'm in Queens and I'm from Queens.
Okay. And what year are you in Oneonta? Give us a little perspective on Oneonta.
I'm a sophomore and just finished my sophomore year. Well, not finished technically, but I've been looking forward since I got to Oneonta, so 2 years now. And I had a show, I had a solo show, and now I'm on a group show with Rosie, who's also here, called Tangled Wires. And yeah, so I love Wony.
Oh, shit.
Very cool. So what are we hearing there, Marshall? It's only me, you, and David now unmuted.
It's
David, do you
definitely
have
not me.
I'm not
David?
muted.
Do you have any other sound going? Somebody said, "Oh shit."
Okay.
It's somebody talking in the background of somebody
Oh, wait,
else's
hang on a
microphone.
second. It might be mine.
I think it is because I just muted Kathy and everything's good. Kathy, it's you. Okay. Awesome. All right, guys. Awesome. We have
Where in Queens
so
are you
many
from,
people
David?
enjoying this.
Where in
Sorry
Queens?
about that.
What did you say?
Where in Queens?
East Elmhurst, near LaGuardia Airport.
Okay. Cool.
So does everybody know David that came in before, like Natalie and Riley? And I'm going to unmute you guys so you can talk. Riley's unmuted. Go ahead. Natalie's unmuted. Rob's unmuted. You guys know each other?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very well.
Oh yeah. Oh yes.
Oh,
yes, yes.
We all go way back.
We're always with each other.
I was
Okay.
gonna say we're always together. So
All right. Can we all focus on Joel, who's
I know
petting
with the dog.
petting something? Let's hear
Wait,
from Joel.
The alumni office wants me to take pictures of the video chat too.
Please
so
do.
I'm gonna. I don't know if people want to take the opportunity with the cat in the video.
Yeah, please. I'm doing screenshots anyway for you, Natalie. They're all done.
Perfect.
Joel,
Agatha
talk about that monster you have in your hands.
This is Agatha Cromwell from the Halloween Town.
Oh.
And she has a sister who's half her size, and that's Huddle. And then there's another one called Yoda. That's the three cats. And I did a post of my of me and my dog Kismet, who's half the size of all the cats.
Oh.
You know my dog's called Kismet too. Kismet, right?
How would I know that? There's
I do.
like an onion,
This
Kevin.
is
There's so
Kismet.
much I just peel off, and there's so much beneath that.
That's right.
You know that Kismet is actually
Fire Island.
Well, Kismet's from Fire Island, but you think about it as luck, and because of the Broadway show, it's right luck. So I went and I Googled the word, and it's from the Quran actually.
That's right.
A phrase called Kismahala, which means God's will. And if you think about it, there is no coincidence, right? There is only God's will, because my dog Kismet, there's no way I would have willed to have that dog. I didn't want a dog. And when we went into the rescue place and they said, "Oh, hi," to everybody in my family, and, "Oh, you must be the dad," I knew I was done. So it had to be Kismet, Kismala.
Exactly what happened to me. This is crazy. You're saying
I
that.
learned something new today.
I got bushwhacked into having that dog.
It was Bershert.
I got to hear from Dana in the upper right here. Dana, you look like you're in the Hamptons. What's going on over there?
Yeah, that's definitely a Hamptons head.
Dan, I didn't want to say this. I didn't want to be inappropriate, but Dan Legani, what part of India are Dan Legani's people from?
That was Sanjay Gupta. That wasn't Dan Legani.
Oh my God.
Oh Lord.
So Dana, what are you doing out there? You look a lot relaxed.
I'm I framed my postage stamp of a land plot here
Yes,
so
you
that
did.
you can just see the 8 hedges on either side of it. You wouldn't even believe what's going on, but no. I'm just
Where are you,
relaxing.
Dana?
I'm in Floral Park, the Queens
Looks
National
beautiful.
Border. Thank you. It's beautiful out today. It's gorgeous.
Here too.
Dana,
Lovely
how is
day.
your spritz? How is the black cherry flavored spritz?
Empty. I was going to get up and get another one, but now Kevin just spotlighted me, so I have to talk.
I'm going to Joe Moss because Joe, this is the truth. All right, you're on now. Let me unmute you, please. I follow you on Facebook, and I have to tell you that South Florida is a strange part of the world. And
It
we
is a
wanna hear-
strange part of the world, It takes some getting used to. I guess I haven't been here long enough.
I guess it's funny, Joe. You know how I feel. Like it's two sides of the coin here.
Yeah. It is.
I've been here a long time. It's not that terrible.
Every place has got its advantages and disadvantages, I guess.
Absolutely. And people can suck everywhere.
Well, here's the thing, right? My favorite musician in the world, Jaco Pastorius, died in South Florida, unfortunately.
Wait, hang on. Wait, I got something to say about that.
Kathy,
Go
The
ahead.
night that he died, I went to the Santana concert at the Sunrise Musical Theater, and he stormed the stage that night and got taken off by security and ended
I
up at
know.
the club. And it was a wild evening that I actually was there at that concert, and then later on he was gone.
Wow, that's so cool that you know that, though. That you
Yeah.
experienced that.
It was very, very strange. Very strange.
Mike
I want to ask
Kelly.
the current students a question. you guys eat Tino's pizza?
Yes.
Oh,
Now, Joel, we all knew Tino. Joel, do you want to talk about Tino?
I suppose I can talk about Tino. I was going to pull up a picture of me and
Do
Nancy, me and Nancy Garufi. Tino was like Tino and Nancy were like parents to me when I was up there. The store was located where Cosmos is now. They'd moved around quite a bit, and Nancy's Tino's sister and her husband had the original pizza land out on Oneida Street. I don't know all the way up by where the car dealers were. But when I was in college, I worked on Wony, but I also worked on the radio station formerly known as WIEZ ZOZ, which is upstairs from those places. And I would work from 9 p.m. till 2 a.m. Monday through Friday, and then I had 2 shifts on. I worked 7 days a week there, and I would come down at 2 o'clock in the morning. Tina would make me eggplant and salami. This is before the cheese. He would just bring the bucket over to the table. We'd eat it out of the bucket, and I would drink wine with him. He used to get a wine. It was called Principato. It was a table wine, and only about 6 years or 7 years later, I was in an Olive Garden and found out that Olive Garden actually bought Principato, and that is their table wine. And
is that good or bad?
I liked it. I mean, I drank a lot of it with Tino, but then, I liked what the heck was it? Genesee cream ale too. And then I saw some in Wegmans and I tried it and I was like, what the fuck was that? And he was a big Met fan and was a big Yankee territory there. Working on the radio station, we covered the Mets games in the absolute worst. It was the late 80s, late 70s, early 80s. They sucked so bad, trying to get advertisers. And Tino always had promised that we were going to go to a Met game. And he didn't. He had terrible diabetes that he didn't take care of. He smoked, always drank lots of wine, ate pizza, and then he died. So when I started coming up for the alumni weekends, I would visit Nancy because she worked there. And then their son Tino gave up his Coca-Cola route. He had a Coca-Cola. If you go into there, you see all the Coke stuff. It's because he was a distributor for Coke. And then I would just go in, and then we had this culture of bringing Tino's Pizza to the studio. It was, okay, so that's my Tino story.
Joel, did he deliver to Boughton's Fast Stop?
Yes. Did who, Tino?
No, his son. The Coca-Cola.
I'm sure. I don't know where his route was. And Tino's other son actually works for, what is the food service? Cisco. He works for Cisco, and he's in charge of all the food for Fippy, whatever that dorm is called.
So I don't know what's there now, but Pizza Land used to be right next door to the Oak. So literally walk down those steps out the Oak.
Yep.
Pizza Land was right there. I mean, you couldn't imagine anything better at 2 a.m, but that hot.
Nothing better.
And we didn't do cold cheese. That happened after
by accident.
Way after, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I would have really appreciated not burning my mouth every.
Right. You saw the video.
But so that was really, and the best chicken parmesan too. Do you remember the time when he was in the Oak, actually in the back of the Oak?
In the back there, yeah.
So it was like you didn't have to go anywhere now. Now you could just sit at the bar and eat your pizza. Oh, so
I
good.
did learn that last year that Tino's son, who owns the place, has been, grooming some guy who works there to, get out of the business. So it may not be owned by the Garufis much longer.
They were featured on one of these Food Network or one of those places because of the cold cheese. It was like a whole show about them.
I want to ask the 2012 crew, what would have normally happen in the spring? Don't you guys have an amazing like a spring concert that usually happens in Neowar Park or anything like that? Please,
Mike,
anybody.
You're sharing everything.
Well, not anymore. That's all done. Well, like the concert has to be on campus now.
Yeah, OFES, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it's got to be on campus?
Yeah, we had a few situations.
Oh, shit.
Oh, situations.
Yeah, it was originally Hartwick involved too. So it was like OFES, like OH.
Yes,
And
yes.
then yeah, so Heartwake's
Now
like
it's
not
just
in there
oh.
anymore.
Oh,
I don't know
really?
why.
I've been here.
but-
I've been in Oneonta for 2 years, and I haven't experienced one O-Fest.
Ah,
Chapter got canceled.
I graduated without no
Entered last year.
In 2012, Cooper and I, that was the first year they moved it out of Neoa Park and put it into one of the arenas, either at Hartwick or Oneonta, and they were charging money for it. So we did a concert called No Fest, which featured a comedian and local bands, and it was free because
Oh,
it was
that's
stupid
where
that they were
poster's
charging.
from.
Yep, that was from us.
Gotcha.
Anthony
Was-
Barone just entered the room. I just want to say that. Anthony, how are you? Where are you from? What town?
We've already
where are
talked
you
to
now?
Anthony. We heard all about his podcast.
Oh, who just entered? Who entered?
Anthony's the podcaster.
I
Oh,
just
right.
entered. I just
Somebody
disconnected.
just. Oh, you
Haven't paid
disconnected.
attention.
Yeah.
That doesn't count. That doesn't count. You know what? I want to go to Andrew for a second. Andrew, just because you look like you're so ready to rock, were you going to play some drums for us or something like that?
I wasn't, but I can if you want.
I would love that. We would love that.
I've got guitars and drums and everything up here.
I mean, 20 seconds of drums would make us feel pretty good right now.
Hold on.
I actually have to get going, guys.
Okay, Joe.
Good to see
And
you.
me too. I have to get going as well.
All right,
I
take
wanted to
care.
thank everybody.
Take care.
Great
Miss
seeing
you
you.
all. Take it easy. See you on the
Take
flip
care.
side.
Bye.
Take care.
Bye.
I have to go too. Kevin, thank you so much for setting this up.
You're welcome.
You know, I just hate to say this, Kevin. This is sort of like a Grateful Dead concert when they start the drum solo.
That's okay. That's okay.
You know, you might be getting clearing the room. No
That's all
offense,
right.
Andrew.
That's
Now I have to get ready for my next Zoom conference. So
All right.
God.
Take care, Jill.
good luck to all of you seniors. I feel for you, but somehow you're gonna make up for it somewhere else, and it's all gonna be awesome. Stay safe, be well, and go Queens.
Jill, congratulations on your new career in public radio.
I know, I can't believe Jackie's gonna get me a job.
Great seeing you, Jill.
Take care.
Take care.
Thank you, Andrew.
Oh yeah.
We didn't hear anything.
You guys can pin Andrew's video. Upper right, pin video. That's what I'm doing. Ready when you are, sir. I love the surroundings you're in.
Oh, you guys didn't hear that before. Damn it. Hold on.
So I had Andrew on my my camera, as I am wont to do, just because I like looking at him. I saw him, but I couldn't hear him.
Fine. I'll try one more time.
You already did it?
Hey, plug for Silently Cooking. Cooper's YouTube channel, right?
That's me.
Everybody check it out. Silently Cooking.
Silently cooking.
Great stuff.
If you want to watch videos of me cooking, but not saying anything.
Thus, Silently Cooking. Is there
I'm real good
noise?
at plugging my own stuff.
Yeah. No, it's excellent. Everybody check it out.
How's Rue doing, Coop?
Oh, she's here. Here she is. Let's go say hi to Rue while Andrew sets up. There she is. Look at the camera.
Oh, look at Rue.
She's doing all right. Thank you for asking about her.
Of course.
Are you ready?
Go,
Ready, Andrew?
Oh, this is awesome.
Very nice.
Hey.
How good was that, guys?
It was good.
Excellent.
Andrew, I have a question about your drums.
Oh,
what's up?
question answer period. I love this.
Just a short one. Each one of those drums, like, do they like it when you hit it, right? Is that what makes the noise? Or is it like, do you have to like coax it out of the drum in some other way? I know nothing about drums.
Well, I don't know if you see, but I have like a bunch of snakes, and basically I just take, I summon the snakes in my mind, and that's actually what makes the sounds.
Summoning. Okay.
Snakes.
Yeah. All right. Cool. Thanks, man. Thanks for the question. I
Oh yeah,
appreciate it.
yeah, no problem, no problem. Yeah. These are the comedy bits we would do on the radio, you know.
I actually, can I ask a question to the new crew of Wony students that are currently on? I was actually wondering, it actually hit me the other day. I guess the station is being moved to somewhere else. How's that process going, and how are you guys feeling about it?
Not
Well,
that
we don't know right now because they halted all non-essential construction. I guess the governor, that's a new order. So we don't know if Hunt Union being a public building is essential or non-essential, but the first day of broadcast was supposed to be September 1st. So, but we don't know what's going on.
Is there any chance that if the project is held off for a long enough period where you guys will have to be completely off the air, or is there a contingency where you can continue to broadcast from Alumni Hall until the other place is set up?
As of right now, the whole plan was that we were going to take April and May to pack up the station so that because the whole thing is Alumni Hall is going completely offline and they're making it the School of Business. So the whole plan was over the summer when we be on autopilot, with the exception of like Uncle Bill, because he does his show even in the summer.
Of course he does.
Yeah, he's great. We love Uncle Bill. The whole plan was we would already sort of be offline. No one would be in the station, so they would just move us, and we would probably just keep the online stream going and go off of the terrestrial radio. But now I don't even know. I don't know if the timelines are going to match up. So I don't know if they're going to take Alumni Hall offline before we can get stuff moved. Like everything, I guess, is up in the air with the construction.
Where are they going to put you in Hunt Union?
We are, and correct me if I'm wrong, the current students that are on, we're supposed to go in the basement by the Red Dragon Theater.
Mm-hmm.
Always the basement.
Always basement.
Hey, at least you're back in the basement. I mean, that makes a lot of sense.
That is true. That is true.
Are you guys excited to move there, or are you sad that you're leaving Alumni Hall?
I have mixed feelings. I feel like Alumni Hall is what I knew, you know, and it's frustrating a little bit because I know the murals, we were going to try to have the murals transported, but the building material, it's like a plaster, but it's not going to like hold up well to move it across campus. So some of the murals I think are going to kind of get ruined, but they're trying to digitize them so they can reprint them and put them on the wall in the new station. So I think as a sentimental thing, I am going to miss Alumni Hall, but at the same time, I think, I don't know who in the group was on the trip to Boston last year, but we saw Boston University's radio station, and it was more in the student union, and it just got so much more foot traffic and people were so much more aware of the station. So I think it's, you know.
I know that this is a thing that Cooper and I were fighting for when we were there in our time, that we were trying to get Hunt Union to actually like play us in the Hunt Union, but we never were able to actually get that done. So I hope that that's something that can change for you guys, because as you said, that's great. They do? Oh, that's awesome. That's great. I guess we weren't that nice, Cooper, when we were there.
No,
I have mixed feelings about it.
That's funny.
I have some mixed feelings about it. Like, I wouldn't mind staying in Alumni if we just got new equipment, because our like signal cuts out around Franklin, and it says we're supposed to be broadcasting like 25 miles out. But I wouldn't mind staying in Alumni because it's sentimental too, and it's nice to see like all the newspaper clippings from like the early 2000s, the late 90s, the 70s, and all the murals and everything. And it's just like you can feel the energy of like decades of just the college kids fucking around in a radio station. So like I really, it's going to be cool to move into a new station and get new equipment, but at the same time, I wish we kind of just got the new equipment and they just left us to.
Yeah, I feel the same way. It's like a bittersweet thing. I transferred last year, so I'm like fairly new to everything too. But it's still like that's where I started. Like I kind of want to finish there too. And like, you know, come back to the old station. But I mean it's good for like recognition. It's you know, at the end of the day, it's whatever gets us recognized the most or kind of that stuff.
I think for us,
this kind of reminds
I think for us, it's really sad that we were hoping to be there for the last time in Alumni Hall. It was where we were broadcast from. But if I remember correctly, like when I started, it had just moved. Joel, you could answer this. It just moved from Morris Hall.
The first time I wasn't on the radio in Morris Hall, but the first time I ever visited the studios in Morris Hall. And I think that winter break, 78, 79, was when they had the procession, brought up all the records. You know, it was like you know, like when the firefighters, like the bucket brigade, they set up and moved there. But, you know, I wasn't on the station until the spring of 79.
Yeah, that's when I started too. I went to, I tried out you had to try out to become a news person. You read the news, you ripped the news, and then you first started out doing news. And then I got my first show the next fall, 2 to 5, you know, and then, you know, great things happened.
Great, huge things.
Something like that.
Huge things. I love that. Joel, what does that S mean on your shirt? Is that Superman? What is that?
Syracuse.
Oh, Syracuse. Oh, thank you. I didn't realize that.
Where's Dana?
Dana's out. Dana's out. A lot of people
you covered.
are loving life.
We're gonna wrap up, I think, right, guys?
Yeah, let's wrap
up. It's about time. We've been on for a while. You good, Gene?
I'm good. Thank you.
Well, I think we really we need to hear
everyone.
we need to hear the story about how Joel met his wife before we sign off.
Joel met his wife through a phone call.
Oh, that is a beautiful shot.
It had nothing to do with Wony though, so we don't have to go into that.
All right, we won't do that. But Dana's back on. Look at this. How great
right, Dana.
This is.
We're gonna wrap up.
I wanted to eat off camera.
Joel,
Dana, I feel like we're gonna have some
call,
hors d'oeuvres with you.
Joel, how long was that phone call?
You know, Andrea's not here to correct me. I think it was 11 hours and 45 minutes.
Are you serious?
First phone call.
We have to do this with 17 people.
You used to pay by the minute back those.
And how many words did Andrea say?
It was actually Marshall knows. I called him afterwards. I was worried about how long the phone call was, and thank goodness it started after 8 o'clock on Friday.
You know, and I'm going to correct you. Actually, the way the conversation went, and Dr. Ring will let you on for in a second to say goodbye. The way the conversation was, Joel called me on a Saturday around 11 o'clock. He said, I just got off the phone. It was like 11, 12-hour phone call. I was like, what? You know, and it's kind of crazy. And then I said, hey, is that a toll call? And he hung up the phone. I don't think he even said goodbye. Hung up the phone about 5 minutes later. Because back then, kids used to pay for calls. And like, if you're in New York City, even call Long Island or New Jersey, it would cost you. And if you were on the phone for an an hour and you waited till after 8 o'clock at night or whatever to make phone calls, remember, everyone?
Oh, it was horrible.
You know, at 9 o'clock, and you called on Sunday, you know, and you called collect and all this stuff. So
oh my God.
Joel was freaking out that it might have cost him a lot of money. What's that, Joel?
Yeah, international calls were even worse. Alan and I had a roommate. He was from Puerto Rico. We get the phone bill, and it was like hundreds of dollars.
Forget about it.
We used to call home when we went someplace, like to go visit somebody in a different place. We used to call home, let it ring 3 times.
Yeah,
and then hang
that's
up.
Right.
That's
right.
right. Pay for the
that's
call,
right.
and
then hang up
safely.
Right. You had codes to make sure that they knew you were okay and you didn't have to pay for it.
That's right.
Or you could even call collect. They wouldn't accept, and then they knew.
My mother used to make me do that.
You know, and then they knew you got there, and they might even heard a little of your voice or something. But that was that. Like,
it was kind of like our generation's LimeWire.
Yeah. I guess the good thing about it was like we went to college, and my mother was at Oneonta, well, because Randall was there a few times, like dropped me off, and then came to graduation, and then because Randall
That's
was
right.
in the right corner there, she dropped Randall off, and that was it. Like there was calls once a week, all good.
Yeah.
The one thing I'll say about calls at the corner of Center Street and what's the street that ran up to the
Elm Street?
college? Yeah,
Oh,
Elm.
the free phone.
The phone that I had, the hanger that I put in the little hole, and I called my girlfriend from Queens. This is a true story. You guys should know this from 2012. When John Lennon died, that's where I was, on that phone on a free phone call, because we were able to put quarters in, then get them back by hitting the hanger. This is sick to even say.
How did you find out about that?
How did you know about
it?
You know what? I was not the guy to drill the hole, but I was the guy I maintained that hole, because I lived on 99 Center Street, and in the
That's what she
middle of
said.
the winter, I would call
Right,
my
Dana?
girlfriend from Queens and would drop the quarters and immediately get a refund by putting the hanger into the hole. And John Lennon died during that phone call. It's insane to think about that.
So you found out from the phone call?
From the phone call, right there.
Oh, okay.
How did you find out, Marshall?
Joe, we were watching.
We were gonna go here. We're going here.
We almost got through the show.
Oh,
Listen,
shit.
Joel Frank on the radio.
I got to be on the air for two incredible events in our lifetime: John Lennon's death and COVID.
That's true.
Yes.
That's true.
Trying to figure out what that last one was.
Randall came in my room and told me. I remember that. He was
That's
studying
true.
for finals. I
Randall
will
was
never
watching
forget that.
football. He wasn't
He
listening.
came in and Randall came in and he said John Lennon was shot, and I'm like, no, like I thought he was kidding.
Howard
We were
Cosell,
all
Randall?
studying for finals. Yeah.
Yeah, Monday Night Football.
Randall did nothing for my ratings. Nothing.
He
Sorry,
learned to
buddy.
love you. It took time.
Were
It
you
took,
guys on air
40
when,
years, but he's learned to love you.
When?
All right, so
All right, so I guess parting words.
Right.
I think we're going to close this down. Any parting words?
thank
Parting
you for
words.
doing this.
I don't
Thanks for
thank you
everything,
for
guys.
whoever kind of
Thank you,
spearheaded this.
Wonderful to see you guys.
Great seeing you guys.
Keep it locked.
Love, peace and love.
Next
We
year,
should probably
seeing
do
you
this
guys.
next
Safe
month.
and well.
Same
Yeah,
time
we'll
next
see.
week.
Maybe we will.
Same time
love to
next week,
everyone.
yeah.
Everybody stay safe. Be good. And go Oneonta.
again.
Next year in Oneonta.
next year.
Yes.
Next year in
Next year,
Oneonta. It's a
Oneonta.
Passover joke. Next
New
year in
studios.
Oneonta.
Exactly.
Like to end on a Passover joke.
Love you guys.
Love you all.
Bye.
Take care.
Guys.
Bye bye.
Take care, everyone.
Yeah,
Peace.
bye. Thank you so much.
Peace and love.
Thanks, Kev.
Be healthy.